The two newest teams in the Pioneer League and two of the best teams. The Ballers renew their rivalry with the High Wheelers, the defending champs, tonight in a new city. Welcome to Marysville. This is Bay versus Buttes. And with a certain lefty on the hill this evening, it's Butts versus Buttes. Good evening and welcome to Bryant Field in Marysville, California, as the Oakland Ballers visit the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers for the first game of a 6-game series. I'm Nevada Cullen, and you're listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. These Northern California rivals enter their first series as two of the top contenders for a title. The High Wheelers won the championship in their inaugural season and are enjoying another successful campaign under Billy Horton. They're 7-5 so far in the second half, but did just lose the series to the Rocky Mountain Vibes. The Ballers have now won 7 straight series after taking down Colorado Springs in the knockout round on Sunday. Cam Buford in that knockout round hit 3 homers, one more than Christian Hall's 2, and the Ballers as a result took 4 of 6 from the second half upstart Colorado Springs Sky Sox to send their record to 6-6 in the second half. But that was then, this is now. It's Oakland, it's Yuba Sutter, it's the two California teams representing the Pioneer League well again this season. Yuba Sutter at 7-5 in the second half. Oakland is 8-4 actually. And we are just about ready for the national anthem here from Bryant Field in Marysville. This is a new site. We'll tell you about this new stadium after the playing of the anthem here from Marysville.
At this time, we ask you to please rise if you're able and remove your hats. For tonight's national anthem is being performed by the Bright Brass Quintets.
Nice. It feels like deja vu all over again as we had a brass section, this quintet today. We had, I think, a heptet the other day. And now some more brass here at Bryant Field as the anthem has been sung. And now it's time to get into the starting 9 for the Oakland Ballers. Led by Aaron Miles in his second year. They're 45-15 this year. The Ballers are 8-4 thus far in the second half. Darryl Buggs II is the center fielder leading off on this occasion. Nick Leahy, shortstop, hits second. Christian Almanza, first baseman, bats third. Daniel Harris IV is the second baseman cleaning up. Cam Buford, right fielder, bats fifth. Dylan Tatum, catcher, hits sixth. Jake Allgaier is the third baseman, batting seventh. Tyler Lozano, DH, bats eighth. Davis Druick is the left fielder, hitting ninth for the Ballers, who will roll with Reed Butts tonight on the hill, and he is opposed by another lefty in Matt Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, game 1 of a doubleheader on Wednesday in a 9-8 loss, went 4 innings for Yuba Sutter, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, tied his season highs in hits and earned runs allowed. Third such outing this year with exactly 10 hits and 7 earned runs allowed this season. Kavanaugh, who has appeared out of the bullpen and as a starter, is making his 9th start of the year The lefty has a 5.44 ERA, a 3-1 record, 51 and a third inning, 60 hits, 17 walks to 40 strikeouts. So those are very good numbers for the 6'3 lefty out of Coral Springs, Florida, who played his college ball at D2 Nova Southeastern and finished his college career at FGCU in Fort Myers. Kavanaugh, the lefty, will be backed up by this defense for the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers. In left field, it's Cooper Hext. In center, it's the red-hot Landon Wallace. Right field is River Orsak. In the infield from third to first, it's the you'll know two of these names if you've been a Ballers fan for 2 years now. Kirkland Banks at third base returns in his second year as a High Wheeler. And at shortstop, it's Parker Cadu. At second base, the infamous Bobby Leday. At first base, it's Gio Brusa. Catching is Mike Campagna. And, of course, the pitcher is the lefty Kavanaugh. The uniform matchup tonight is a familiar one, as James Harris just gave a handshake to someone in that Yuba Sutter dugout. The High Wheelers and Ballers renewing their rivalry. They played a bunch of games last year, and James Harris is one of several Ballers wearing that Ballers road green uniform with the gold numbers on the back of the uniforms. Oakland in white across the back of the chest, or the top of the back, I guess, and gray pants with the green unis. The home team, the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers, in all white with the black caps with the yellow brim. That bicycle logo on the front of the black caps, the bicycle in yellow. High black socks for the pitcher, Kavanaugh. Lefty, Kavanaugh. Righty, Bugs, to get things going here from Marysville, California. The first pitch of 2025 in this great rivalry is a called ball just off the plate at 7:07 pack time. That is 7:07 back in the Bay. Thanks for tuning in on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. As Bugs stands in from the right side and takes outside, it's 2-0. Two very close misses from Kavanaugh, the lefty, facing the righty, Bugs. The home plate umpire tonight is Bill Shortridge. That's a familiar name. Jason Venson at first base, Robert McGee at third. Bugs takes a strike. On the inner half, it's 2-1. Bugs, the 23-year-old from Atlanta, has not batted leadoff much this year, but with Tremaine Cobb Jr. Incapacitated today, he's sick. Bugs gets the start leading off, and he takes ball 3 low and inside. Darrell's approach has improved, his patience at the plate. He walked twice on Sunday against Colorado Springs, and his next walk will be his 20th. Bugs on 3-1, hits it off the end of the bat to second. Leday collects, throws low to first. It's picked out just in time from Brusa. That looked like Leday just could never get the ball in the air. That was a weird low throw. A little too nonchalant maybe, but he makes the play in the end for out number 1. Brings up Nick Leahy, batting second. The shortstop today for the Ballers, again with no Tremaine Cobb Jr. Leahy on a 4-game hit streak is in this series, or in last series against Colorado Springs, hit 6 for 21, had 4 extra base hits. First is high and away to Leahy, 1-0. No score, top of the first here from Marysville, the new home of the High Wheelers. They were the YOLO High Wheelers last year, playing their games at the University of, UC Davis. Next from Kavanaugh, the lefty, is low and inside, bounced it, 2-0 on Leahy. But now they are at the former home of the Marysville Drakes, the Marysville Gold Sox. There has been a team here in Marysville ever since 2000. And the High Wheelers are the newest home team for these loyal Marysville fans. It is definitely a refreshing sight. 2-0 to Leahy. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Last year, the High Wheelers essentially were a team without fans, and now the defending champs can try to repeat as a team with fans. 2-1 from Kavanaugh. Leahy strokes it right field pretty deep. Orsak at the track. He leaps and makes the catch. That's a long second out. 307 feet to right field. It's only 305 down the line, and Leahy just missed a home run. He got it off the end of the bat. 98 off the bat of Leahy. This ball flies here. It is hot. 94 degrees at first pitch. 2 outs in the inning. Here's Christian Almanza. Top of the first, no score. Lefty-lefty battle. First pitch is inside for a ball. Almanza, 6 for 19 with 10 RBI in the series against the Sky Sox. Went 0 for 2 on Sunday. A week ago today, a 3-homer game, the third in Ballers history. 1-0 toss. Almanza takes a slow breaking ball draped over the outside edge at 80. 1-1. Cavanaugh, the lefty, works from, we'll call it the stretch. Third base side of the rubber. His pitch to Almanza is stroked to second. One big hop for Leday. He fields on the grass and makes the play in time for out number 3. Ballers do not score in the top of the first inning. 0-0 heading to the bottom of the first. Yuba Sutter coming to the plate. The High Wheelers will bat when you return on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the first, no score. Oakland and Yuba Sutter here from Bryant Field in Marysville, California. Billy Horton is the headman for the High Wheelers in his second year, the 2023 and 2024 Pioneer League Manager of the Year with Billings and then Yuba Sutter. High Wheelers are 7-5 so far in the second half. Parker Cadu is the shortstop leading off today for Yuba Sutter. River Orsak, right fielder, hits second. Bobby Leday, second baseman, second-year High Wheeler, hits third. Cuba Best, that's the name to know. The DH, the cleanup hitter, is the team leader in RBI and homers. He bats fourth. Gio Brusa, the first baseman, hits fifth. Cooper Hext hits sixth. He's the left fielder. Landon Wallace is on fire on a 4-game hit streak and hitting 500 in his last 8. Wallace, the center fielder, hits seventh. Mike Campagna, the catcher, bats eighth. And Kirkland Banks, another second-year Yuba Sutter High Wheeler, bats ninth and plays third base. The pitcher today for Oakland, it's Reed Butts, seeking a franchise record 8th win of the season. Wednesday against Colorado Springs, took the tough luck loss in the 5-4 game, went 4 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 homers. 26-year-old lefty from Rockford, Illinois. His first pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1. That was a great pitch from Reed at the bottom of the zone to get the whip from Cadu. Lefty-lefty battle here to start the bottom of the first, no score. And the next pitch is tagged into center field. Bugs racing on, makes a sliding catch. Feet first for out number 1. Gives us a moment to look at the defense for Oakland behind Reed Butts. In the outfield from left to right, it's Druick, Bugs, and Buford. In the infield from first to third, Almanza, Harris, Leahy, and Allgaier. Tatum is the catcher for Reed Butts. 4.45 ERA, 7-2 record. This is his 11th start, 54 and 2/3 innings, 60 hits, 26 walks, and 42 Ks. Next pitch from Butts is a strike at the very bottom of the zone, 0-1 on Yuba Sutter's River Orsak, who had a grand slam on Thursday. Cut and a miss. It's 0-2. He swung at the changeup there from Reed. Orsak, though, 0 for 5 on Friday and did not play Saturday or Sunday in the series at Rocky Mountain. He is the team leader in hits with 84. 24-year-old from Texas. 0-2 from Reed. High and tight, 1-2. Yuba Sutter against Rocky Mountain suffered a doubleheader sweep on Wednesday, then won the next 2 games but lost the final 2, including a 12-4 loss on Sunday. Orsak takes low. It's 2-2. I don't think it's a mistake or too much of a coincidence that Yuba Sutter lost the 2 games in which Orsak did not play. He's also the team leader in doubles with 15, hitting a team best 364 this season. Right fielder hitting from the right side. Pitch from Reed is clubbed in the air to left field. High in the sky for Druick. It's a tough sun for the left fielder, and Druick makes the squeeze for out number 2. I will say the sun is setting. It stays up for about 3 innings here in Marysville, but it sets into the eyes of Druick out and left. And, well, Hext is the left fielder for the High Wheelers, and he has to deal with that sun too. Here is Bobby Leday. Well, what has happened since the Ballers last saw Bobby Leday? He kind of made himself a High Wheeler legend as he takes inside for a ball, 1-0. Leday, the 24-year-old from Richmond, Texas, was the Game 4 hero in the Pioneer League playoffs last year in the championship series against Glacier, as he clubs one high in the sky to left field, and this will not hit the foul pole for a game-winning home run. It will instead fall into Druick's glove in left field. He makes back-to-back putouts to end the first inning without any damage against either side. No score as we head to the top of the second from Marysville, Oakland, and Yuba Sutter here on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the second inning here from Marysville. Both teams retired in order in the first. The 2 lefties, Kavanaugh and Butts, each pitched scoreless frames. Ballers and High Wheelers in the top of the second inning. No score. 4, 5, and 6 due up against Kavanaugh. Today is July 29th, 2025. It's time to go back in time. It's time for this day in Oakland baseball history. The 29th of July was a big day for Oakland Ballers history last year. July 29, 2024, the Oakland Ballers trade Austin Davis and Trevor Hulsema to the Rocky Mountain Vibes for Brett Carson, Stephen Wilmer, and Kyle Piagic. The 3 from Rocky Mountain no longer with Oakland. Brett Carson is now a Texas tailgater, and they're associated with the Savannah Bananas. Stephen Wilmer was just waived by the Vibes, and Kyle Piagic was on the spring training roster but did not make the team for Oakland this year. Here is Danny Harris, right-handed batter. First pitch of the inning is bounced towards third, foul. Good breaking ball there from the lefty Kavanaugh. I haven't checked in a while how Austin Davis or Trevor Hulsema are doing, but I am curious. There's multiple Austin Davises in baseball right now. So, ball clubbed in the air, right center field and deep. It is high. It is off the very top of the wall, and Harris thinks he has a homer. He's now rounding for third, and he'll have a triple. And now they're saying home run. It's a solo blast from Danny Harris. Apparently hit just above the padding. You have to rely on sound, like a bat in the night, to determine if a ball is a homer or not here in Marysville, and I'll explain later. Danny Harris with the solo blast, his 8th of the year. He hit it 106 off the bat, 376 feet to right center field to get it out. And it's 1-0 Oakland in the second. Here is Cam Buford. He takes low, 1-0. 106 off the lumber of Harris, 376 feet at a launch angle of just 20 degrees. It was a low shot, but a homer nonetheless. Now Buford takes outside, called a strike. Just clipped the corner, 1-1. Danny gets the scoring started here in Marysville with an opposite field homer. 1-1 bends into the outside corner, 1-2. Harris now has a 4-game hit streak with 3 extra base hits. His 8th bomb of the year puts Oakland up 1-0 with nobody out here in the top of the second. 1-2 pitch. Buford takes outside. It's 2-2. So I was mentioning the sound, the padding of the wall. If you extend up from the padding, there's kind of like a warehouse type, like a sheet metal. That ball ripped over third. This could be extra bases for Buford. Hex cuts it off before it hits the wall, though, and Buford is held to a single, a 110-mile-an-hour single, as the Ballers are blistering the baseball here in the second inning. Buford extends his hit streak to 4 games. He is seeing the ball a lot better right now. Took a low pitch there, likely a fastball from Kavanaugh. And it brings up Dylan Tatum, who was just 1 for 12 of the series against Colorado Springs. Runner on first, nobody out, 1-0 Ballers, top of the second. First pitch to Tatum is high and away for ball 1. So again, I mentioned the walls here. They're very high walls here in Marysville at Bryant Field, but if you hit the top part of the wall, the top half of the wall, it's sheet metal, and if you bang it off the sheet metal, you hear it, that's a home run. There's no real yellow line, no thick yellow line. That would be a little bit helpful. Pitch outside, 2-0 to Tatum. But usually you'll see in ballparks that yellow line, and if it hits above the yellow line, it's a homer. You can tell there's a line between the sheet metal and the padding, and you just have to, if you're an umpire, you got to have 20/20 vision to be able to make out whether or not it's a home run. 2-0. Tatum takes a strike on the outer half. There's also a little cutout with the video board out in right field. And if you hit it over the padding to right center in front of the scoreboard, that's a home run too. 2-1. Tatum hits it to right field foul. It's 2-2. Oh, Austin Davis is now with Sioux City in the American Association. Two-two count with a runner on first, nobody out, top of the second. Ballers up 1-0. Kavanaugh, the lefty, kicks and goes to first. Buford just walks back to the bag with a little bit of sass there. Trevor Halsema does not appear to be playing baseball this season for any squad. But again, this day in Oakland Ballers history, those two were traded away. Runner goes on 2-2, and Tatum strikes out. Buford has himself a stolen base. That's his 18th of the year, second on the team. But it comes at the expense of a Tatum strikeout. I guess you could call it a productive out, as the half swing from Tatum was enough for Bill Shortridge to ring him up. Here is Jake Allgaier, fresh off his first 2 RBI game as an Oakland Baller. First pitch. Allgaier, the switch hitter, hitting for the right side, takes a looping breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Ballers lead 1-0 top of the second after the Danny Harris Oppo Taco. Cam Buford, the runner at second. And Allgaier at the plate. Pitch from Kavanaugh is blasted to straightaway center field. Wallace races back. He has room. He makes the catch on the track. Buford tags for third. There's 2 outs. Nice piece of hitting there by Allgaier, though. Jake took a middle outside fastball, hit it 100 miles an hour off the bat, 372 feet to center. It's 390 to just left of center and 385 to just right of center. If you want to get it out here, well, I'd say a little bit easier to get it out to right field. It's at least a little shallower. Here's Tyler Lozano with 2 outs, runner at third, 1-0 Ballers, top of the second. First pitch, Antila waves over a breaking ball. 0-1. Lozano 0 for 4 on Sunday with an RBI. And Lozano Friday in his first game in 2 weeks went 3 for 5, tied a career high with 4 runs driven in. Buford at third with 2 outs, top of the second. Pitch from Kavanaugh is high and away, 1-1. Lozano hitting .309 in just 27 games. He missed a couple weeks with a leg injury that he suffered on July 11th against Rocky Mountain. 1-1. Lozano fouls it away, 1-2. Some chance of Tyler Lozano here at Bryant Field, which means there are some Ballers fans in attendance. I know Nancy Butts is here hitting. She was sitting. I think she's actually standing and pacing. I see her with her Grateful Dead t-shirt off to the left. 1-2, bounce slowly towards short, fielded by Cadu. No chance at first base. It's an infield hit for Tyler Lozano and an RBI. Ballers double their lead. It's 2-0. Tyler Lozano, ever since he returned from injury, has driven in 6 runs in 3 games. Buford scores from third, and his steal of second proves important. Brings up the 9-hitter today. Yes, 9-hitter Davis Druick. First time we've seen him hit in this spot for Oakland this year. Lefty-lefty battle with 2 outs in the top of the second. 2-0 Oakland. Kavanaugh's first is lifted off towards left field, foul behind home. 0-1. Druick slides down to the 9 spot because he's in a bit of a slump. 3 for 20 in the series against the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. I believe he had 3 hits as well in the series at Glacier. 0 for 3 on Sunday. 0-1 pitch. Druick again just fouls it off, pops it up off to the left. 0-2. That was the issue in batting practice for him. A lot of fly balls, foul in left field. James Harris was getting on him. Hit the top of the ball, James said. And so that's what Davis worked on for the rest of batting practice today here in Marysville. It was a bit of a laser show for most Ballers today in BP. 0-2. Druick fights it off again, though, flies it off to left field. He's still under the ball. Runner at first is Tyler Lozano with the RBI knock. That's his 19th RBI of the season. Druick still in an 0-2 hole. Kavanaugh kicks, fires, and Druick hits it high to left field. Hex backtracking. He's just shy of the track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Oakland strikes first in the top of the second with 2 runs. A homer by Danny Harris, an RBI 2-out knock from Tyler Lozano. 3 hits in the inning for Oakland, and they leave Lozano at first base. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Ballers 2, Yuba Sutter nothing on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the second inning. Ballers lead 2-0. Daniel Harris the 4th with the first RBI of the series, a solo shot to the opposite field. And then Tyler Lozano doubled the Oakland lead in the top of the second with his RBI infield single rolled to deep in the 5-6 hole. So Tilo drove home the second run, and Reed Butts gets the pitch with the 2-0 lead. His mom, Nancy, is she sitting down? I don't see her right now. She's definitely standing and pacing. Oh, I believe that's her. She has relocated to the top of the mostly vacant bleachers down the third baseline, standing at the very back row. Nancy trying to stay as far away as possible from the action right now, while still being able to get a good view of her son pitching. First pitch to Cuba Bess is a called ball, low and away, 1-0. Bess, the DH for the High Wheelers. He has been their best hitter this year. Takes outside, 2-0. 2 for 3 on Sunday. The day before that, Saturday against Rocky Mountain, his third 2-homer game of the year. He went 3 for 5 with 3 RBI, a double, and 2 taters. 2-0 count. Butts from the windup. Fires low, 3-0 to Bess, who has also walked 45 times. Believe it or not, that's not first on the team. It's Parker Cadu, the leadoff man, who's walked 58 times, who has that title. 3-0 from Reed. That is south of the zone. It's a 4-pitch walk to Cuba Bess. We'll get more into him later in this game and tell you about what makes him tick. Gio Brusa is next. Chance for the Ballers with a runner on for the first time for Yuba Sutter to turn 2. The Ballers have been turning 2 at a very high clip this season. They are 4th in the league, tied for 3rd with 53 double plays turned, but Butts misses low with a fastball, 1-0. Brusa, I found this weird stat. He's hit into a double play in 3 straight games. 8 so far this season. Tall righty slugger takes high, 2-0, and Butts has missed on 6 consecutive pitches. 2-0 Ballers lead in the bottom of the second inning. Nobody out, Bess at first. Brusa, a very good hitter, 330 average. Takes an outside strike at the very bottom of the zone, 2-1. Good pitch from Reed. That was the first strike in 7 pitches. 647 slug for Brusa. That's second on the team. Second in doubles and homers. Pokes one foul off to the right, 2-2. Brusa, the 32-year-old, one of the oldest players in the Pioneer League, and he is a Bay Area native. He's from Lodi, California, just north of Stockton. 2-2 count. Butts from the stretch, looks at first quickly, comes home. Gets a slow ground ball towards third, foul. Still 2-2 on Brusa. 65 RBI for Brusa. That's 10th in the league. That is second on the squad. There's a fan with a horn sitting very close to the press box. You can hear it very easily. 2-2 again is popped up behind home. Tatum looking, and he is way out of room. That's onto the concourse. It is a very short backstop here in Marysville. That's probably a reasonable distance, but from up here in the press box, we're not exactly on top of things, and it looks like a very short backstop. Still 2-2 on Brusa after Butts had missed on 6 straight to he and Bess. Next pitch is blasted high to left field. Druitt gives it a look. It is gone. Tucked it just inside the foul pole, and Gio Brusa ties the game at 2 with his 19th tater of the season. A high arcing 2-run blast off of Reed after a very entertaining 2-strike battle. Okay. That is an air horn. That fan, I have been warned, does blow that air horn after the High Wheelers score. 96 off the bat, 41 almost degree at launch angle. Jim Diedrich out to talk to Reed Butts. Only 338 feet, but that's just deep enough to get it out to left field here at Bryant Field. We're all new at 2 in the bottom of the second inning. Still nobody out as Bess and Brusa, the big bruisers with a walk and a homer, tie the game. So a brand new baseball game here in Marysville, California. And Cooper Hext is next. Hext 3 for 23, struggled in the series in Colorado Springs against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. First pitch. Bounced foul of first. 0-1 on Hext. 330 hitter. Out of DeQuincy, Louisiana. McNeese State product. 90 outside the fastball. It's 1-1 from Butts to Hext. Hext, it's almost a surprise he's not an Oakland baller because of how many McNeese State Cowboys have played for Oakland. Hext a foul tip at 91 into the mitt of the catcher Tatum, 1-2. Hext was teammates with all of those ballers, Peyton Hardin, Brad Burkell, Josh Leslie, and Derek Cherry. Lefty-lefty battle. 2-strike pitch. Bounces in. 1-2 on Hext. Or 2-2 rather. That was a fastball buried in the dirt by Butts. Wide open stance lefty Hext. Rests the bat on the left shoulder. Butts looks in for the sign. Working from the windup. Fires. Pop fly foul off to the left, out of play. Allgaier gave it a chase, but that was well out of here. Still 2-2 on Hext. But still looking for the first out of the bottom of the second inning in a 2-2 game. Oakland scored 2 in the top of this inning with a home run of their own. The High Wheelers with a 2-run homer by Barusa tie the game with nobody out in the bottom of the second frame. Another 2-strike pitch. Low and away. Good hold from Hext. He took the changeup, buried low and outside, and the count is full. Payoff pitch is next in this lefty-lefty battle. Butts to Hext. It's grounded to first, a high hop foul past the bag, and it drifts on into right. Butts getting worked in this second inning. Entered this at bat at 20 pitches, and he's thrown 6 or 7 to Hext. The next one, a check swing foul. This has to be at least pitch 8. Still 3-2 to Hext. Butts gets the sign. Winds, deals, missed high. And it's his second walk of the inning. Good patient at bat from Hext, only his 21st walk of the season. And it brings up the scorching Landon Wallace. Runner on first, nobody out, bottom of the second. 2-2 score, Ballers and High Wheelers. And Wallace, Sunday against Rocky Mountain, had his second Pro 2 homer game. Drove in 3. Righty batter, swings and foul tips it into the mid of Tatum. 0-1. Wallace, first year in the Pioneer League, former Angels minor leaguer, spent 2 years in the system. He's on a 4-game hit streak and is hitting .500 in his last 8. Takes high at 88. That one should have been called a strike really at the top of the zone. But the Ballers did not get the call from Bill Shortridge. It's 1-1. 1-1 from Butts. Wallace swings early. That's a great pitch from Reed. The changeup at 79, 1-2. Wallace, I mentioned, his second Pro 2 homer game was Sunday. Both of his professional 2 homer games have come in the last 8 games. 1-2. Wallace takes high and away at 87, a pitch out. And the count is even at 2 apiece. 2-2 score. Runner at first is Hext. 2 walks in the inning from Butts. You know he doesn't want to walk Wallace here. Hext gets his lead, and the 2-2 is swung on and missed. Good changeup from Reed, his first strikeout. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. The red-hot Wallace strikes out swinging and brings up the catcher, Mike Campagna. Campagna, just his 26th game, one of several catchers on this High Wheelers roster. They really have 3 that I know of. Campagna, Bass, and Duran. First pitch to the righty is a center strike. Right down the middle. 0-1. 2-2 your score. Ballers and High Wheelers. Both teams scoring 2 so far in the second inning. Runner at first is Hext with 1 away. Campagna takes high, 1-1. Butts could really use a double play here just to keep the pitch count down. It's climbed all the way to 36 after a long inning here in the bottom of the second. Campagna has hit into 6 double plays this year. Runner starts and stops. Pitch is low and inside. It's 2-1. Campagna is a California native. He's from near San Diego, La Jolla. But he went to the University of San Francisco. Takes low, 3-1. Campagna hitting .308. It's really similar numbers, actually, to Tyler Lozano. Lower in the RBI compartment, but similar in games played and RBI. Hitters count here for Campagna, 3-1. Butts throws to first. A quick move, but Heck slides back safely. Butts has already walked 2 in the inning. Knowing that, Campagna's sitting on something to hit here. Runner goes, and the pitch is high for ball 4. That's the 3rd walk of the inning from Reed Butts. Reed did walk 3 last time out, but that was over 4 1/3. And he's just trying to figure it out here. Dylan Tatum will visit him for the 2nd time this inning after Jim Diedrich was out to talk to Reed earlier this frame. And now it's the 9-hitter Kirkland Banks, the second-year high-wheeler we've seen today. Banks did not play on Sunday. On Saturday against Rocky Mountain, went 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. He bats with 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2 on, and a 2-2 game between the Ballers and the High Wheelers. First of 18 games that they will play this season, and then surely they will meet again in the playoffs. Just seems to be inevitable. First pitch swinging, lifted to right field. Buford, a late read, dives, and can't grab it. The runner's got a late jump, though, as Buford gets it in, and no runs will score. Wait for a ruling on that. Buford, who has not played a lot of right field, really should have made that catch. Do we have a ruling on that, Kevin? I'm still waiting. As of now, it doesn't matter. Bases loaded for the leadoff man, Parker Cadu. First pitch is outside and low, 1-0. Buford has played some corner outfield in the MLB Draft League, notably. Next pitch is just low. It is 2-0 on Cadu. And that pitch is challenged by Tatum. That's a poor challenge. That was low. So Oakland's 0-1 on challenges today. And it's 2-0 on Cadu. Yuba Sutter smells blood in the water here with Cadu, who lined out to center field in the 1st inning. Bases loaded, 1 out in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the 2nd. They trailed 2-0 entering this frame, and Yuba Sutter is trying to take the lead right back against Reed Butts in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bases full for Cadu. And the lefty bounces it foul of first, 2-1. Cadu has 38 RBI this year. Had a big go-ahead grand slam in Game 4 of the series against Glacier way back when. Glacier blew a 9-6 lead in the 8th, and Cadu hit the go-ahead slam in that game. 2-1. Cadu lifts it, line drive, left field. Druick never saw it, and that's off the wall in left. At least 2 will score. Kirkland Banks being waved around. Nick Leahy's throw is in time, and Banks is out by a mile. 2 outs, but Yuba Sutter scores 2 and take the lead on Parker Cadu's bases loaded 2-run double into left field. And that would have been the 3rd out of the inning right there. Although, I think Banks's run would have been unearned anyways. Again, we'll see how it's ruled. Good throw by Leahy, who's filling in at short for Tremaine Cobb Jr. But it's 4-2 Yuba Sutter here in the bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs. And here is River Orsak. Runner at 2nd with 2 down. Swing and a miss, 0-1. I think those runs will be earned against Butts, even if Banks reached on an error. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. And Butts really has no one to blame but himself, unfortunately, in this frame with 3 walks in the inning. There was one call that should have been in his favor, but definitely not Reed's best frame. He spins around to second with Banks, or Cadu, I should say, jumping over there, but he darts back to the bag safely. 2 outs, runner at second for Yuba Sutter. Bottom of the second, 4-2 lead for the High Wheelers. 0-2 to Orsak is fouled off. Still early in this ball game, but unfortunately for Reed, that's now back-to-back outings where he has allowed 4 runs. Still, he gets better as the game rolls along. Runner at second is Cadu. Orsak flew out to left field on a high fly ball in the first inning. And on 0-2, he shoots it straight back. I wouldn't doubt that a foul ball could come into this press box here. I'm sure they've gotten their fair share. Still nothing in 2. Butts the lefty, Orsak the righty. 0-2 pitch, fouled straight back to the screen. Reed now just catching too much of the plate. He's overcorrected. On an 0-2 pitch, you want to locate a little bit better than that. That was right over the heart of the plate to Orsak. Challenge fastball, but Orsak fought it off, and again, it's nothing in 2 with Cadu at second. Butts looks off into the distance, looks home, kicks, fires, and misses in the dirt. Good stop from Tatum, 1-2. It's the 8th batter of the inning for the High Wheelers, a crooked number, and they take the lead 4-2 in the second. Bill Shortridge goes out and gives the ball to Reed Butts to give Dylan Tatum a second. This has been a long bottom of the second inning, and Butts' pitch count is up to 48. Again, it bears repeating. Still very early in this game, but the High Wheelers with a instant response to Oakland's 2 in the top of this inning with 4 of their own. 0-2, popped foul again. And that was a much better pitch from Reed. That was low, well located. Still 2 strikes. 1-2 on Orsak. Runner at second is Cadu. This is a long at bat. Butts looks at second. Slowly looks home. Lifts, fires, gets a pop-up. Almanza over, foul ground, out of room. And Orsak stays alive. Orsak with 64 RBI this season. Teammates with Kirkland Banks, who was cut down at the plate at Lamar University in 2023. 1-2, runner dancing at second. The pitch is driven high and deep left field. No doubt about it. Orsak wins the battle and blasts it 380 feet to left. 105 off the bat. Start the light show here at Bryant Field. It's a 6 spot for the High Wheelers here in the second. I have to imagine those runs are now unearned. I will confirm that later. But because of Buford's diving attempt in right field and he did not make the catch, I have to imagine that will be ruled an error. Actually, I could just look at the, yeah, it's low to Leday, 1-0. It's, well, I'm going to have to talk to them about that. It was ruled a single for Kirkland Banks. Pitch is a strike to Leday, nothing in 1. Pitch inside. 1-1 on Leday. 9th hitter of the inning for Yuba Sutter. It's a 6-2 lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Pitch on the inside corner. That was low. That should have been called a strike. Or a ball, rather. But it is 2 strikes nonetheless on Leday. Two-strike pitch from Butts. Leday breaks his back, ground ball 2 hops to third. Picked up by Allgaier. His throw to first is picked out by Almanza. Nice play by Christian for out number 3. But it's a big inning for Yuba Sutter. They get 6 runs on 3 hits, 3 extra base hits in the inning, and do not leave a batter. It's 6-2 Yuba Sutter heading to the top of the third on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the third, Oakland trailing the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers 6-2. Huge inning for the High Wheelers. 2 bombs, a 2-run blast by Gio Brusa, and then a 2-run homer by River Orsak after Parker Cadu had a 2-run double. And it took a great Ballers relay in the outfield to cut down Kirkland Banks at home, and that was the only difference between an even bigger inning and the 6-run inning that was in the bottom of the second. So room to work back for Oakland here in Marysville. It's a 6-2 lead for the High Wheelers, and the Ballers will bring up Darryl Buggs the second, the leadoff man today, to start the top of the third inning. I'm Nevada Cullen, and Vince, who's back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Tuesday evening. Rough start to the series for Oakland when it's all said and done, as Buggs hunts the first pitch and flies it to center field. Wallace in, has a beat on it, and makes the catch in right center. 1 pitch, 1 down for Matt Kavanaugh here in the top of the third. The starter for the High Wheelers now gets to pitch with a 6-2 lead.
The shortstop, number 23, Nick Leahy.
Here is Nick Leahy here in the top of the third inning. 6-2. The Ballers trail. 1 out in the inning, bases empty. First pitch to Leahy is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Leahy, first time up, flew out to left field.
I know it's loud, and I know it's vibrating, but it
0-1. And Leahy takes in the dirt, 1-1. Leahy on a 4-game hit streak, flew out his first time up today. Game-tying leadoff homer in the 6th inning on Sunday. One pitch. Leahy fouls it off to the right, 1-2. 6-2 Ballers trail in the top of the third inning with 1 out. One-two pitch from Kavanaugh. Leahy swats it to right field, out of play again, 1-2. Leahy in the first inning nearly went yard to right field, but did come up just shy, hit it 300 plus feet. Got to hit it about, let's call it 315 to get it out to straightaway right field, maybe closer to 320. Another 2-strike pitch from Kavanaugh, swatted to right field, out of play. Good battle from Leahy, whose game-tying homer on Sunday was to the opposite field. It's probably a good time to set the scene here in Marysville. Another 1-2 pitch. And Leahy strikes out on a good breaking ball. Leahy's running to first, and there was no need to do that. Campagna caught the baseball. 2 down, second strikeout for Kavanaugh. Brings up the Ballers' 3-hitter Christian Almanza. 2 outs in the inning. Top of the third, Ballers trail the High Wheelers 6-2. And here in Marysville, what are we looking at as we look at this field? Well, the first thing that you would notice if you're watching on Flow Sports is the Dollar Tree out in left field, missing the green D at the front of the title. Almanza takes a strike, 0-1. There's also El Torero out in left. It's a meat shop. So that's in left field. Then out to right field is Ellis Lake. I don't think there's... Almanza bounces it to second. 2 hops for Leday. His toss to first in time for out number 3. And Almanza grounds out to second for the second time today. We are halfway through the third inning. Going to the bottom of the third, it's a 6-2 High Wheelers lead over the Ballers on 860 AM The Answer. Ballers trail 6-2 in the bottom of the third inning. I'm Nevada Cullen. Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. I'm Nevada Cullen. I am hungry always, so it's time for Nevada's culinary curiosities. So the Ballers are staying nearby at a nearby hotel that shall remain confidential, but it is a, let's say, 10-minute drive from the field and a 7 to 10-minute walk from the hotel. You can get to Fernando's Cali Kitchen. And that is where I went today for Nevada's culinary curiosities. Had my lunch there. I had what they called a regular burrito. That was opposed to a wet, saucy burrito or a California burrito with fries. Pitch on the outside for a strike. 0-1 on Cuba Bess here in the bottom of the third inning. High Wheelers leading 6-2. And next one is outside to Bess. It's 1-1. So I had some, actually it might be 2-0. No, 1-1. I was right the first time. Bess fouls it back. It's 1-2. And so I went to Fernando's Cali Kitchen. I got a burrito to go. It was a carnitas burrito, so pork with sour cream, rice, refried beans. I'm a big fan of refried beans in a burrito. Adds a nice texture to it. Bess strikes out swinging. Good start for Reed here in the bottom of the third. That's his second punch out. After a 6-run second, he looks to rebound here in the third. Brings up Gio Brusa with 1 out. And so yeah, as far as burritos go, I was solid. Desert Scran, yes, that was a great burrito. Pitches a strike to Gio Brusa, 0-1. So needless to say, I might be going back to Fernando's here near Marysville. I believe it's technically in Yuba City. Fernando's pitches low and in on Brusa, 1-1. 1-1 pitch from Reed is inside 2-1. Brusa took him deep in the second inning with a high arcing blast, 41-degree launch angle to left field. One of 2 homers in the inning for the High Wheelers in the second. 2-1, low and outside, called a ball at 89. Was just low, below the zone. It's another hitter's count for Brusa, and you think Here, Reed's probably pitching around him. 3-1, though, is hit through the left side for a base hit. That was an outside pitch from Reed, but Brusa got to it and has a 2-hit game. Bruce is up to 23 multi-hit games this season. And that brings up Cooper Hext. Runner on first with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Yuba Sutter leading Oakland 6-2. Hext left-handed batter against Butts, a left-handed pitcher. First toss is outside and low. 1-0. Hext, his first time up, walked. Reed Butts walked 3 in the 2nd inning. That was definitely one of his worst innings this season. Line drive foul of first. 1-1. But give Reed some credit. He's had an awesome season. 7-2 record, a 4.45 ERA. This is his 11th start. His next win, whenever it may be, will set a new Ballers franchise record for wins in a season. Pitch fouled off at the plate by Hext. 1-2. Hext played for the State College Spikes of the MLB Draft League in 2024. Was teammates with Parker Cadu, who's the leadoff man for the High Wheelers. A lot of players through the MLB Draft League that play for both of these two teams. 1-2. Hext strikes out. Good pitch from Reed. Threw him a breaking ball on the outside corner, and that's his 2nd strikeout of the inning. Butts starting to heat up a little bit with 2 strikeouts here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 outs. Runner on first is Brusa, and here is Landon Wallace. I'll say it again. Red hot. 4-game hit streak. 500 hitter in his last 8 games. Struck out his first time against Reed. First pitch here, way inside, almost hit him. 1-0. Wallace 16 for 32 over the past 8 games. 16 runs scored, 20 RBI. 4 doubles, 6 homers, and 8 walks. 1-0 pitch to the righty. It is ripped on a line through the left side. Wallace stays hot, pushes his hit streak to 5 games without 2-out single. 2 on for the High Wheelers with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Brings up the catcher, Mike Campagna. 1-0-2. That was, give a little credit there to Wallace. He did not miss a mistake. Reed did just throw a fastball right down the middle. And Campagna, first time up, walked against Reed. 2 strikeouts, 2 hits in the inning for the High Wheelers. Butts wouldn't mind that trend continuing. It would result in his 3rd strikeout of the inning. As the first pitch drops in high for a strike, 0-1. Good change up there from Reed on Campagna. Another MLB Draft League player was teammates with Trey Cobb and Darryl Buggs for the Frederick Keys last year. And he takes inside. It's 1-1. Bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs in the inning. 6-2. The High Wheelers lead the Ballers. And the High Wheelers have 2 aboard with 2 outs for Campagna, who's driven in just 9 this season. In limited at-bats, it has to be said. Butts comes home and gets a wave and a miss. 1-2. Campagna calls time. That was an inside fastball. Good pitch from Reed. Campagna now works his way back towards that right-handed batter's box. Big guy, 6'2", 250, has the build of a catcher. And he stands pretty far off the plate, so if you can command the outside corner, you could have some luck there. 1-2 from Butts is inside. Tested him, and it was way inside, and yet Campagna still blasted it foul off to left field. Way out of play, though. He was very early on the Reed Butts changeup. Still 1-2 as he digs back in from the right side, Campagna. 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. 6-2 High Wheelers lead. Campagna looking to add to it. Butts wants a clean inning. Looks towards second. Comes home and missed the bottom of the zone. Tatum smart not to challenge that. He already missed that challenge earlier. Good no call from Bill Shortridge. That is a ball low, no matter how tempting it looked. Good take from Campagna. Brusa and Wallace, the runners for the High Wheelers here in the bottom of the 3rd. Butts steps off. That's his first disengagement of this plate appearance. Campagna digs back in. tan bat, circles it around his head, and then waggles it behind his right ear. He swings and bounces it down the third baseline fair. Brusso will score. Wallace to third. The throw is towards second. It's a good one, and the tag is applied by Harris on a dive. Campagna got greedy after singling in Brusso. Wallace will be left stranded at third base. Campagna, though, with the RBI knock. That adds another for the High Wheelers. Another good throw, though, this time from Druick to Harris at second base to get the runner Campagna at second. That is 1 run in the inning for the High Wheelers on 3 more hits. They have 6 total, and they leave 1. We go to the 4th inning. Oakland trails Yuba Sutter 7-2 on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the 4th here from Marysville. Yuba Sutter gets another in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead the Ballers 7-2. This is a rare, just bad start for Oakland. All things considered, just one play that should have been made in right field. Reed has not been in top form. The offense, okay. They got 2 runs on 3 hits in the second. And it all started with a Danny Harris homer. He is leading off, looking to kickstart the offense again in the top of the 4th. 7-2 Ballers trail here in Northern California, just outside of Sacramento, next to Yuba City. It's Marysville, California, where a train will pass in left field. Some railroad tracks past that Dollar Tree and left. First pitch of the inning to Danny. Low and inside, ball 1. Harris with his 8th homer of the year in the 2nd inning. An opposite field solo blast off the lefty, Matt Cavanaugh. 1-0 pitch from Cavanaugh. Grounded to second. Smooth as butter, Leday to first for out number 1. That was a 104-mile-an-hour exit velo from Harris, but it really flattened out. Good piece of hitting, but it's a ground out nonetheless. The Ballers have had 5 straight retired since Tyler Lozano's RBI single in the 2nd. Cam Buford singled to left field his first time up today. He bats against Cavanaugh. Buford takes the first pitch, breaking ball low, 1-0. 7-2 High Wheelers here in the top of the 4th inning, 1 out. Buford, the right-handed hitter, extending his hit streak to 4 games with that 110-mile-an-hour single. And Buford tees off again and lines it into left field. This one just 91 off the bat, so not as pieced, but he has his 2nd consecutive 2-hit game. Buford with 21 multi-hit games this season. A 1-out single here in the 4th. And that brings up Dylan Tatum, who is one of just 2 strikeout victims for Cavanaugh thus far. Tatum, right-handed hitter. Cavanaugh, the left-handed pitcher. First pitch in the dirt, that gets away from Campagna. And Buford down to second. Buford into scoring position with 1 out. It's ruled a pass ball on Campagna. I think that's fair. It did look like he could have stopped it. Now Tatum with an RBI chance, second on the team with his 54 RBI. But he's a bit cold, 1 for his last 13, 1 for 12 in the series against Colorado Springs last week. Does hit lefties well. And Tatum swings and misses over the top of a breaking ball. It's 1-1. Tatum hitting a team best 345 with a 452 on base. That also leads the side and almost 700 slugging percentage, leading the team in all 3 slash categories. 1-1. Tatum swings, cranks it high and deep left field. It's off the top of the wall. That's a home run. The second of the game for Oakland, and they're right back in it with their second homer of the ball game. A 2-run blast from Tater, his 15th of the year. That's second on the Ballers, and he lasered that one off of the left field wall. It's the Highwheelers 7 and Oakland 4 in the top of the 4th inning. Back-to-back hits, the single by Buford, and Tatum's 15th long ball of the year. Another Tatum Tater makes it a 3-run game. The top of the wall, that's a home run here in Marysville. I did not misspeak. Here is Jake Allgaier. He takes ball 1. It is challenged, though, and that'll be overturned to a strike at the top of the zone. So Highwheelers keep all 3 of their challenges. It is 0-1 on Allgaier after Tatum's 2-run homer, making it 7-4 Yuba Sutter here in the top of the 4th. Still a hole to get out of as Allgaier clocks it high to right field. Orsak on the run won't get there. It's a foul ball. It's 0-2 on Allgaier. Trying to go the other way that time. Just didn't quite barrel it up on the outside breaking ball, as Kavanaugh threw a good breaking ball to the outside half on the switch-hitting righty Allgaier. First time up, he flew out to deep center field, just missing a home run. Does not have a homer yet as a baller, as he takes outside at 88. 1-2. Yuba Sutter 7, Oakland 4. A high-scoring game thus far. The 2 lefties, Kavanaugh and Butts, have been hit around a little bit. Next from Kavanaugh is bounced up the middle. Leday past his backhand and into center. That's 3 straight hits for Oakland off of Kavanaugh here in the 4th. Allgaier extends his hit streak to 5 games, and the Ballers will send Tyler Lozano up to the dish with a runner on first and 1 out. 7-4 lead for the Highwheelers still in the top of the 4th. Lozano with an RBI infield hit his last time up. Nice piece of hitting there from Allgaier on 2 strikes. You can also say that Kavanaugh's fastball on the outside corner caught too much of the plate. Either way, Allgaier is at first base, and Lozano, the righty, at the dish. First pitch is fouled off. A homer for Lozano on Friday in his first game in 2 weeks. In his first at-bat back, Lozano had an RBI single. Then in the 4th inning, had a 2-run homer. Could another 4th inning 2-run homer be in the cards for Tyler today? 0-1. Lozano swings and misses. Good pitch. That's a hard slider down from Kavanaugh. And it's 0-2 on Lozano. Can Kavanaugh execute better this time with 2 strikes? Allgaier singled with 2 strikes, and he's at first base. Lozano at the plate. Kavanaugh from the stretch. He deals, and Lozano fights it off. That was a bit of a hanger there. Breaking ball, but caught a lot of the plate. Maybe tried to freeze Lozano there. Not the worst idea, and Lozano can only foul it away. Oakland back within 3 with the 2-run Tatum Tater. Allgaier slides back to first safely. Not the fastest throw from Kavanaugh. Still 2 strikes on Lozano, and Kavanaugh has plenty of wiggle room with it being an 0-2 count. Kavanaugh comes home And Lozano takes way upstairs. Probably a pitch out there. Allgaier, not exactly the biggest threat to run for the Oakland Ballers. He did swipe 11 bags, though, in his final collegiate season last year. 1-2 pitch. And Lozano powers it high to center field. Wallace has room in right center field and makes the catch for the second out. Nice piece of hitting, though, by Tilo with 2 strikes to get an elevated fastball and somehow barrel it up. 96 off the bat, 342 feet to slight right center. But there are 2 down. Next up, Davis Druick. Last time up, flew out pretty deep to left field. Ball's flying a bit today. Sun's starting to set. No longer a factor here in Marysville. It's now past 8 o'clock. Runner goes. He's picked off. Allgaier is hosed, but the throw bounces into left field. And Allgaier is safe. He was picked off until he wasn't. Bruce's throw was not good. He skipped it in to Cadu. So runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Davis Druick in the top of the 4th. 7-4, Ballers trail the High Wheelers. First pitch to Druick. Hits him. Ow. And it also hit the catcher, Campagna, and he's shaken up. Druick, hit by a pitch on Sunday, is now hit by a pitch for just the 5th time this year. But it happens in back-to-back games. That looked painful. He was hit by an inside pitch, a fastball at 88. He gingerly walks down to first. But here's Bugsy. Darryl Buggs the second with a chance to tie the game here in the top of the 4th with 1 swing. Did have 2 homers in the series against Colorado Springs, his second and third pro homers. Druick needing a second as he took his elbow guard off. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. A 2-run homer in the inning by Tatum. The Ballers already have 2 homers in the game. Buggs with a homer here would tie the game at 7. High Wheelers 7, Oakland 4 in the top of the 4th inning. 2 outs in the frame. It's been one of Reed Butts' worst days so far on the mound for Oakland this season, but it hasn't been too much better for Kavanaugh. However, he has been money against this top of the lineup. The top 3 in the order are a combined 0 for 6 against Kavanaugh. His first to Bugsy is down low. Good take from Buggs, 1-0. Buggs today, a ground out and a fly out to center field. That was a first pitch fly out in the 3rd inning. Buggs with 16 RBI this season, hoping for at least 1 2-out RBI here in the 4th. 1-0 pitch. Buggs fouls it off. That was a good outside fastball from Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh looking to rebound after an outing where he just went 4 on Wednesday in game 1 of a doubleheader. A 9-8 loss. He gave up 10 hits and 7 earned runs. 4 runs so far for Oakland through 4. And Buggs slowly bounces a breaking ball back to Kavanaugh. The lefty's throw to first is in time for out number 3. Good pitch from Kavanaugh as he threw an inside breaking ball to Buggs. Had a lot of movement, and Buggs could only bounce it back to him. The Ballers get 2 more in the inning on 3 hits and leave a pair. 2-run bomb by Dylan Tatum, second homer of the game for the Ballers. They trail the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers by a score of 7-4, heading to the home 4th on 860 AM The Answer. It is a short start for Reed Butts today, who figures to go on Sunday for Oakland. Today, not great for Butts. He lasts just 3 innings in one of his shorter starts of the season. The Ballers trail 7-4 here in the bottom of the 4th, and on for Oakland, it's Sean Kelby. A lefty exits and a lefty enters. Sean Kelby is the new pitcher for the Ballers. Friday against Colorado Springs, an inning, 2 hits, an earned run, and a homer allowed. 25-year-old from Newark, Delaware, signed by Oakland on July 1st, has a 7 ERA, 6 innings, or 6 appearances, I should say, 9 innings, 14 hits, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Kelby hoping for maybe a nice, good 2-inning outing tonight against the High Wheelers as Yuba Sutter leads Oakland 7-4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Butts, I'll give you the line for now. This line may change. 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned as of now. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. And Butts gives away to Kelby. 9-1-2 to bat for Yuba Sutter here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kirkland Banks, the 9-hitter, then Parker Cadu, and then River Orsak. I think it's time for a little wide world of baseball as we talk about Thibodaux, Louisiana. Banks is not from there. It's Cadu on deck, who's from Thibodaux. First batter of the bottom of the 4th is Banks. Lefty Kelby delivers inside 1-0. Thibodaux, a city in and the parish seat of Lafourche Parish, Louisiana. It's along the banks of the Bayou Lafourche in the northwestern part of the parish. That pitch just missed from Kelby, 89, at the top of the zone. That's the second missed call from Shortridge. Bill Shortridge, the home plate umpire, at the top of the zone. Population of Thibodaux in 2023, 15,646. 2-0 swing and a miss, big hack. And it's 2-1 on Banks. Thibodaux is south of Baton Rouge, just a bit to the west of New Orleans, so it's in that southeastern part of Louisiana. Foul ball lifted off to the right, 2-2 on Banks. Bottom of the 4th, Ballers trailing the High Wheelers 7-4. Thibodaux, nicknamed the Queen City of Lafourche. Lafourche? I think I'm mispronouncing Lafourche. It's also home to Nichols State University, where Cadu played his college ball, so he was a local product. There's the pitch outside. It's 3-2 on Banks. I also have Cadu as being from Paincourtville, Louisiana. But that's a bit of a smaller town. So I checked Nichols State's website where Cadu played his college ball, and it said he was from Thibodaux. There's a check swing line drive into center field for Kirkland Banks, and he has a hit off of Kelby to start this bottom of the 4th inning. And here is Parker Cadu, the Thibodaux native, according to his college's biographical page. Thibodaux spelled Thibodaux. Very Cajun spelling. Runner goes on the first pitch from Kelby, but it's fouled back, and so Banks tried to steal that off first move from Kelby, but he has to go back 0-1 to the Thibodaux native Cadu. The Roman Catholic patron saints of Thibodaux are Saint Valerie and who was an early Christian martyr, and then Saint Vitalis of Milan, her husband also a martyr. Just reading from Wikipedia at this point as Cadu takes a strike, 0-2. Runner on first is Banks. And he'll get checked on by Kelby. Notable people from Thibodaux, it says that Amos Moses is from there, which is a song written by Jerry Reed. It's about a one-armed alligator trapper as Cadu, the Thibodaux native, goes down swinging as we wrap the wide world of baseball here in the bottom of the fourth.
Right fielder, number 9, River Orsak.
Brings up River Orsak. 1 out in the inning as Kelby gets the K. Orsak, a 2-run homer in the second. His 14th of the year as he swings and misses late at 89, high in the zone from Kelby. High Wheelers lead 7-4, bottom of the fourth, 1 out. Banks at first base. Orsak is 1 for 2 with his 2-run homer. Kelby's living high in the zone. Dangerous with Orsak as he fouls it back. Nothing too dangerous considering Orsak went deep in the second. Orsak, who had a grand slam on Thursday, with a big 2-run homer today. That was the home run that made it 6-2 at the time. High Wheelers, their lead has been decreased to 3 at this point. Kelby with a long hold before coming set and delivering. Pitch is high. It's 1-2. I wasn't sure if he ever came set there, Kelby, but the umpires did not call a balk. Orsak in a 1-2 count. Banks the runner at first. 1 out, bottom of the fourth. 7-4 High Wheelers over the Ballers. Banks takes off, pitch high and away, and Tatum's throw was offline. He really, the ball slipped out of his hands, and Banks has his 16th stolen base. He's 16 for 17, one of the top stolen base getters on the team, but not top 2. He does not have as many stolen bases as Bobby Leday, who has 29, or Parker Cadu, who has 26. 2-2 to Orsak, the righty. Pitch from the lefty, Kelby. It's fouled back. A lot of foul balls. Still 2-2 on the right-handed hitting Orsak out of Mont Bellevue, Texas. His former Lamar teammate at second, and he grounds it 2 hops to Harris, who throws from a knee from second base to first for out number 2. Banks moves to third, a productive out for Orsak, but there are 2 away now in the bottom of the fourth. And here is Bobby Leday. I didn't really get to talk about his heroics in his last at bat. He grounded out quickly, or I guess actually flew out quickly in the first inning. But again, game 4, as he's being cheered on by a group of fans in the right field bleachers. That was cool. Game 4 of the Pioneer League playoffs in 2024. Leday fouls this one off to the right side to those fans that were chanting his name right in front of them. It's 0-1. But game 4 against Glacier, the Range Riders looked like they were about to force a game 5 winner-take-all game in the championship series, but Leday had a 3-run homer off the left field foul pole to walk it off for then Yolo. And he lines this one into left center field for an extra base hit. He brings in Banks, a 2-out RBI as the throw is towards third. Bobby Leday with his 44th RBI of the season, his 14th double. And he just got a high pitch and hit it 109 off the bat. Did not miss that mistake from Kelby. So Oakland got 2 back in the fourth, but Yuba Sutter gets a 4-run lead with that RBI double by Leday, scoring Banks from third with 2 outs. And now it's Cuba Bess. Left-handed hitter takes outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 8-4 High Wheelers here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 outs. Runner at second is Leday. Bess so far today, a walk and a strikeout. 1-0 from the lefty Kelby. The lefty Bess bounces it foul past the Yuba Sutter dugout down the first base line. 1-1. Bess with a team best 77 RBI, batting with a runner at second base in Leday after his scorched double into left center. Leday dancing at second. Kelby looks his way before coming home. Looks again, then delivers. And Bess hits it off the end of the bat to third. Slow roller for Allgaier. His throw is in plenty of time for out number 3. But Yuba Sutter gets one more. They lead 8-4 heading to the fifth on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Start of the fifth. It's a 4-run game. The High Wheelers up 8-4 on the Oakland Ballers here from Marysville. I'm Nevada Cullen. Vince back at our 860 AM The Answer studios. And the Ballers will send 2, 3, and 4 to the dish here in the top of the fifth. This is the first game of a 6-game set against the High Wheelers here in Marysville. It's also the first of 12 straight games that the Ballers will play against the High Wheelers, as they will play 6 in Oakland next week. Be there for the only regular season series at home between the Ballers and the High Wheelers. Here is Nick Leahy, who is 0 for 2 so far in this game. Still facing the lefty, Matt Kavanaugh, the starter for Yuba Sutter. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Top of the fifth, nobody out. Leahy leading off the inning, 8-4 the score. The Ballers trail the High Wheelers. Last year, they played 36 regular season games. Leahy takes low, 1-1. The Ballers won the regular season series 19-17, I want to say. Sounds right. They went 11-7 in the first half. Leahy line drive into the mid of the first baseman, Brusa, 1 away. They also played 5 knockout rounds, these two teams, last year. The Ballers were 3-2 in knockout rounds against the High Wheelers. Jose Gonzalez, who's now with the Astros organization, won the 2 knockout rounds with Yuba Sutter. Or then YOLO, I guess. But before winning the championship, these two faced off. The High Wheelers, on their way to a championship, had to get through Oakland to get there. It was an enticing 3-game series. As Christian Almanza takes a first pitch strike on the outside edge, 0-1. 1 out, bases empty, top of the fifth, 8-4 High Wheelers. 14-4 in game 1 in Davis. The High Wheelers rolled. They absolutely dominated the Ballers. It was not close. Tanner Smith had 5 RBI. Almanza takes just off the plate there. That should have been called a strike. That's another missed call. It's 1-1. Cameron Rapetti had the win in that game for the High Wheelers. 5 innings, just 3 runs allowed. Almanza swinging a miss, 1-2. And then Zalaski, Langrell, and Buckner. That was the 1-2-3. Jack Zalaski, Connor Langrell, Ty Buckner. No runs allowed in that game. I'm going to talk more about them later in this series because they are a big difference between this High Wheelers team and last year's championship team. That was only game 1 of the 3-game set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Almanza swings and misses. And it's the 3rd strikeout for Kavanaugh. 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Base is empty. Danny Harris is next with a homer today. But game 2 of the series against the Oakland Ballers, it was a 1-0 Ballers win for Oakland, as Brandon Mitchell went 5 1/3 for the High Wheelers in that game. But Chandler David went 6 shutout innings, struck out 9. Brett Carson had a solo homer, and then Connor Sullivan went 2, and Braden Nelson got the save for Oakland in that game. Pitch outside to Harris, 1-0. And so the Ballers even the series and forced a winner-take-all game 3 at Raimondi. And it was a crushing 6-4 defeat for Oakland on September 13th last year. They kept fighting back, but YOLO won as Harris swinging a miss, 1-1. It was a first inning 2-run homer for Jose Gonzalez that set the tone for the High Wheelers. David Clancy had a solo shot. Ben Ferrer went 6 and struck out 9. Brett Carson did hit a late solo homer to make it 6-4. That was off of Jack Zalaski, who is still a High Wheeler. Harris takes a called strike on the outside corner, 1-2. But Langrell and Buckner again held Oakland scoreless. YOLO then went to the championship series and won in 4 games against the Glacier Range Riders. And that is how a California team lifted the Pioneer League trophy in their first year. Harris, right-handed batter. Left-handed pitcher, Kavanaugh. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 5th, 8-4 High Wheelers lead. And the 1-2 pitch from Kavanaugh. Hit off into the distance in right field, still 1-2. Harris 1 for 2 in this game with an opposite field homer. 4-run cushion for Kavanaugh now, the lefty pitcher. Pitch count still just at under 75 as Harris takes low. It's 2-2 on Harris. This will be the 76th pitch, actually, next from Kavanaugh. The righty Harris waits. The lefty Kavanaugh delivers. And Harris pokes it towards first, and it hops just foul of the bag. So Harris stays alive. Good thing it was foul, otherwise that was an easy out for Brusa, the first baseman. There will be some close games between these two teams over the 18 games this season. There will also be probably some pretty hot moments for both coaching staffs. This is a rivalry. It will get fiery at some point. This is just game one. 2-2. And Harris taps it slowly towards third, rolling, no chance for Kirkland Banks. It's an infield hit for Danny Harris. A two-hit game, his 23rd of the season. Could not have hit it much slower. 58 off the bat. And Harris just rolled it down the line to bring up Cam Buford with 2 outs. That could be crucial. You want to get Buford as many at-bats against Kavanaugh as you can because Buford already is 2 for 2 against this left-handed pitcher. And with 2 outs, Buford with a swing could cut this High Wheelers lead in half. 8-4 High Wheelers in the 5th. And Buford tattoos the first pitch he sees into center field, and it does not drop. Wallace comes in and makes the shoestring catch for out number 3. Harris with a 2-out infield hit, but he is left stranded, and the Ballers do not score in the top of the 5th. 8-4 High Wheelers heading to the home 5th. We're halfway home here from Marysville on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 5th from Marysville. Still Sean Kelby on the hill for Oakland. Ballers trail the High Wheelers 8-4. I'm Nevada Cullen with Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Tuesday night. Game 1 of 6 here from Marysville this week. It will be well attended, and these games will probably be pretty good. This was a pretty big U.S. Sutter lead at 4 runs after 2 innings, and they've restored their 2-run lead here in the 5th. It's 8-4 High Wheelers over the Ballers. Brusa, Hex, and Wallace due up against Sean Kelby in the inning. It's the bottom of the 5th. U.S. Sutter has scored in each of the past 3 innings. And here is Gio Brusa, who already has 2 hits today, his 23rd multi-hit game of the season. The righty faces the lefty, Kelby. First pitch from Kelby is fouled off to the right, out of play. 0-1. Brusa, I would assume to be franchise player, is 32 years old. He turned 32 on Saturday from Lodi, California. Pitch high to Brusa. 1-1. He's from the Central Valley, and he is a St. Mary's High School alum, just like Tatum and Almanza and Lozano. Foul ball. It's 1-2. Not only that, I found out today that Bruce's dad is or was the athletic director at St. Mary's. And so I talked to Dylan Tatum pregame, and he's like, oh, Gio Brusa, that's my guy right there. Bottom of the fifth, Brusa leading off the inning, and Kelby gets another foul ball back to the screen. Still 1-2 on Brusa. Brusa's been around. Drafted by the Braves in 2012 out of St. Mary's. Then in 2015 by the Cardinals from the University of the Pacific. Brusa fouls it back 1-2. And then the Giants in the 6th round in 2016 from the University of the Pacific. And from 2016 to 2019, he played from low A to triple A in the Giants organization. Then released in 2020, bounced around since then in Indy Ball. Another 2-strike pitch. This is north of the zone. It's 2-2. Bottom of the fifth. Brusa leading off the bottom of the fifth inning. An 8-4 High Wheeler lead. Ballers winners of 3 in a row. Yuba Setters lost their last 2. Brusa with a ground ball, hard hit to short, and that kicks off of the shortstop. Leahy took a wicked hop before going into center. That was 98 off the bat, but still, Leahy let it eat him up. And Brusa reaches on the E6. Brings up Cooper Hext. Man, good 2-strike battle from Brusa there. Good things happen when you put the ball in play, and Brusa has reached in all 3 plate appearances today. Bottom of the fifth, runner on first for Hext with no one out. 8-4 High Wheelers lead. Hext today with a walk and a strikeout swinging. First in this lefty-lefty battle is outside for ball 1. Hext, I mentioned, he played at McNeese State. Teammates for 3 years with Peyton Hardin from 2021 to 2023. That was the former baller whom he played with the longest. 2 years with Brad Burkell, 2 with Josh Leslie, and 1 with Derek Cherry. He squares and pulls back at a pitch inside, 2-0. Hext has 2 sacrifice bunts this year, and in a 4-run game in the bottom of the fifth, High Wheelers leading. Billy Horton looking to employ the small ball possibly to manufacture another run in the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-0. Hext takes way inside, 3-0. Kelby has found the zone a few times in this inning, and a lot of foul balls, but other than that, he has missed the zone badly. Runner at first, that's Brusa. Kelby comes home on 3-0 and takes a strike right down Main Street. Next with a hitter's count here. Looking to break out of a bit of a slump. So probably looking to hit away here. The 3-1 pitch from Kelby. Hext takes, that's ball 4 off the plate. 5-pitch walk, first 2 on for Yuba Setter here in the bottom of the fifth. Next up is Landon Wallace, who extended his hit streak to 5 games with a single in the third. He's a .500 hitter in his past 9. Landon Wallace looking for his 7th multi-hit game in his last 9 contests. Right-handed batter out of Roseville, California. Squares to bunt, but pops it up, and Kelby dives but can't catch it. From his knees, has no play, and he just tried to do a little too much there, Sean Kelby. You love the effort as that ball was popped up, and that's got to be an infield single for Wallace. No. Kelby did everything he could, but that's just, I guess, not a great bunt from Wallace, but it ends up being his 7th multi-hit game in his past 9 with that pop-up bunt perfectly placed between the plate and the mound. With the bases loaded, here is Mike Campagna, who has reached twice today with a walk and a single. Bases loaded, bottom of the fifth. Campagna takes an inside ball. That one just clipped the inside corner, but because it was moving in and it was not presented well by Tatum, it's called a ball. So it's 1-0 on Campagna. Next pitch, outside 2-0. Nowhere to put Campagna, who has walked and singled so far. Already 1 RBI in this game. And 10 RBI on the season, finally into double figures. He's taken, entering today, just 78 at bats. So That's why the RBI count is low. And Campagna gets another RBI as he's drilled in what looked like the knee, otherwise somewhere on the leg. It's the second free pass of the inning. It's gone error, walk, single, and hit by pitch, an RBI. That's an unearned run against Kelby. Brings up Kirkland Banks. So bases loaded still for Banks as he looks to break this game open for the High Wheelers. In the bottom of the fifth inning, they lead the Ballers 9-4 on the RBI hit by pitch. Campagna, with only his third multi-RBI game of the season, brings up Banks with a chance to really do some damage. Banks, the second-year High Wheeler, hits with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the fifth here from Marysville. 9-4, the Ballers trail the High Wheelers. This one feels like one of those throwaway games for Oakland, and it's giving the High Wheelers blowing it open at some point. They already have a 6-run inning today. They've scored 9 runs over the past 3 frames. And the first pitch to Banks with the bases loaded is swung on and missed. Good high fastball there from Kelby, 0-1. Banks trying to clear the bases there. I first met Kirkland Banks in the Northwoods League in 2022. He was a Kalamazoo Growler and a Northwoods League champion. Banks takes the ball low, 89, just low and inside. Skirts away from Tatum, but luckily rolls towards third, so Hex doesn't come home. 1-1. On Banks, the right-handed batter, facing the lefty Kelby. Bases full of High Wheelers, 9-4 the lead for Yuba Sutter in the bottom of the fifth. The runners are Hext, Wallace, and Campagna. Next toss from Kelby, cut and a miss. 1-2. Looked like a quick pitch Banks. Again, he needs to be careful to come set. But he's 1-2 on Kirkland. Kelby sets at the belt. The lefty kicks, fires, and looked like he caught the top of the zone. Again, another missed call by Bill Shortridge. That just clipped the high inside corner. So it's 2-2 on Banks. The next from Kelby. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Big K with the bases loaded. And a huge first out for Kelby here in the bottom of the fifth. If he could strand the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fifth, it would definitely keep the Ballers in this game. But here's Parker Cadu batting with the bases loaded for the second time. He had a 2-run double with the bases juiced in the second. He's 1 for 3 today with a strikeout against Kelby. First pitch hack, fouls it off to the left. Cadu hitting with the bases juiced for the High Wheelers in the bottom of the fifth. 1 out, and the base is full for Yuba Sutter. 9-4 lead for the High Wheelers. 1 run in this inning. It was unearned because Bruce had reached on an error. There should be 2 outs in this inning. Pitch outside on Cadu. It's 1-1. Just missed the zone. That's a great eye from Parker Cadu, who has such a splendid plate discipline. 58 walks. That's the most on the team. 1-1, lefty-lefty battle. Kelby kicks, fires, outside, 2-1. Cadu will not chase. He has 58 walks. He has 56 strikeouts, so I guess he will chase sometimes. He did not chase there, though, and it's 2-1. We're drifting further and further into a hitter's count here for Cadu. Hext, Wallace, and Campagna on, and Cadu swats in the air, high left field. Druick has it in left field. Runners tagging. Druick makes the catch, and the runner tags from third. No other runners will tag. It's a sac fly by Cadu. He puts Yuba Sutter into double figures with the sac fly. To left field, rather. And there is the air horn, which means a run has scored for the High Wheelers. Hext comes home. Wallace stays at second, Campagna at first. All in all, if 1 run is all that the High Wheelers get in this inning, then it's not the end of the world. Or 2 runs, I should say. Orsak fouls it back. It's 0-1. But so far, 1 unearned run, 1 earned run against Kelby in this frame. 2 on, 2 outs for the High Wheelers, leading 10-4 against the Ballers in the bottom of the fifth. Still feels like there's a lot of game left. However, Oakland cannot keep giving up runs at as high a clip as they have today if they want to come back in this game. That's fouled back. It's 0-2 on Orsak, who has a homer today, a 2-run blast. He's 1 for 3. 4 homers in the game, 2 by each team. Orsak and Brusa for Yuba Sutter, Harris and Tatum for the Ballers. 2-strike pitch is too tall. 1-2 on Orsak. It's too bad he's not up with the bases loaded for Yuba Sutter. He had a grand slam on Thursday. Up to 68 RBI on the year. He takes high. It's 2-2. Kelby looking to get out of the 5th inning without any further damage. It hasn't been his best work. It hasn't been his worst work. 3 runs allowed, 2 earned over 1 2/3 thus far. He twists and looks at second, no throw. The runner there as well as Campagna at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. The High Wheelers lead the Ballers 10-4 here in Marysville. 2-2 toss from Kelby. And Orsak fights it off. That was an outside pitch. Looked like the fastball from Kelby. And it was on the outer half of the plate. Orsak just does stay alive with a foul ball. 2 on, 2 out for Orsak. Already has driven in 2 today. Kelby just misses inside. 3-2. Good no challenge by the Ballers. That did just miss in. And Orsak takes. Runners get the head start here. 3-2, 2 outs. There are 2 aboard in the bottom of the 5th. The 3-2 pitch is served into center field. Bugs racing back. He's at the track. He makes the catch on the track for out number 3. So all in all, Kelby limits the damage. That's just 2 runs on 1 hit in the inning, 1 error. Only 1 run was earned. And Yuba Sutter leaves 2. But they lead 10-4, heading to the 6th on 860 AM The Answer. Ballers chasing 6 at the start of the 6th. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Ballers. Tatum, Allgaier, and Lozano against Kavanaugh here in the top of the 6th inning. Kavanaugh's pitch count is not too high, just 78, and so he'll get the 6th, and I would assume that'd be it for the High Wheelers. Now the question remains the bullpen for the High Wheelers. That's been the bugaboo for Yuba Sutter this year. Last year, again, I talked about it earlier. It was Zalaski, Langrell, and Buckner. Those 3, once you got to them, game was over. But this time, Zalaski's hurt. Langrell and Buckner are gone. So really, it's been there's been 2 different closers. Ethan Bates, who's a second-year High Wheeler, is 1. And the other for the High Wheelers would be Andrew Garcia. And so those 2 are the ones they rely on, but Garcia got roughed up on Sunday against Rocky Mountain, and Bates hasn't pitched since Friday. So Tatum on the first pitch lines it into left field, and that's how the top of the 6th gets going. Tatum with a 2-hit game. That is his 15th of the season. Line drive single in the left for Tate. And in the top of the 6th, the Ballers trail 10-4. Nobody out. Here is Jake Allgaier next. Switch hitter batting from the right side against Kavanaugh, who it would be assumed will not have much longer of a leash. It is a 10-4 game in the top of the 6th inning. Allgaier is 1 for 2 today against Kavanaugh. First pitch to Allgaier, line in a right center field. This could be extra bases. 1 hop and to the wall. Allgaier thinking 2. Tatum thinking three, and he's getting waved around. The throw is dropped by Leday, and Tatum scores on a double by Jake Allgaier. Allgaier's hit streak is at 5. That's his 4th multi-hit game and his 3rd in a row. That's his 3rd double of the season for Oakland. And he just got a middle fastball, and it was slightly maybe outside. He went the other way, 101 off the bat. That's back-to-back hits for the Ballers, Tatum and then Allgaier. That brings up Tyler Lozano, as Oakland now trails 10-5 in the top of the 6th. Nobody out. And the first pitch to Tilo is swung on and missed. 0-1. Tilo is 1 for 2 today. So the double for Allgaier, and he's second. Tatum scored on the play all the way from first. Nice wheels by the catcher. 0-1 to Tilo. Is fouled off. The RBI double for Allgaier. He did not have any RBI before Sunday. He's now driven in 3 in the last 2 games. Now Lozano at the plate with nobody out, runner at second. 10-5, Ballers trail, top of the 6th inning. Ballers trying to come back from down 6 for the second time today. Lozano swing and a miss. 0-2. Actually, this 6-run deficit is their biggest deficit of the day. Previously it was 5. And now they, of course, trail by 5. Oh, there was a strikeout, I guess, for Lozano. Lost track of the pitch count. It's the 4th strikeout for Kavanaugh. And there's 1 out in the inning. Here is Davis Druick. And here is pitching coach Jerome Williams. We see Jerome for the first time this season. He's also pitched for Yuba Sutter this year in the celebrity appearance. And he was a pitcher, of course. He was the first Hawaiian player, Hawaiian-born, to appear in the major leagues for the San Francisco Giants back in 2003. You'll notice he's not the only coach with ties to the Giants organization. Their bench coach, Gary Davenport's a former Giants farmhand. And Gary's dad, Jim Davenport, is a Hall of Fame third baseman for the San Francisco Giants. Jerome Williams in his 2nd year as pitching coach. Same staff as last year. Billy Horton, the head man. Davenport, Williams, and then A.J. Crapo is the analytics coach. Kavanaugh gets the scouting report of Davis Druick before facing the lefty. And the first pitch to Druick is outside for ball 1. 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. RBI double by Allgaier to right center field. Made it a 10-5 game. High Wheelers lead by 5. Top of the 6th, 1 out. Runner at second is Allgaier. And Druick takes just, oh man, a generous call from Bill Shortridge for strike 1 on the outside corner. 1-1. Druick today is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. The Ballers' bottom of the lineup, 4 through 9, has been good today. It's 1 through 3 that is 0 for 9. And Druick swings and misses. It's 1-2. Should have been 2-1, but it is what it is. Druick, pretty good hitter with runners in scoring position. About a .333 hitter in this situation. But down in the count, 1-2 against the lefty, Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh comes home, and Druick fights it off. Got the big breaker and stays alive. Kavanaugh with 4 strikeouts so far. He's trying to get through 6. His season high is 6 1/3. His 1-2 pitch, the lefty, lifts the leg high, comes home, and Druick strikes out. That's back-to-back Ks for Kavanaugh, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. With Bugs coming up. Kavanaugh's pitch count at 87. Seems like he'll stay in this game. Nope. Stand corrected. Billy Horton's going to the pen, as Kavanaugh will not go a 4th time through the Ballers lineup. He exits with the High Wheelers leading 10-5 here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 outs, new pitcher when you return on 860 AM The Answer. The starter, Matt Kavanaugh, is done after 5 2/3. He gives way to Cole Crescent, the reliever for the High Wheelers. Crescent, 6.99 ERA, the righty from Mandeville, Louisiana. 1-2 record. This is his 14th appearance. He also has made 4 starts. 37 1/3 innings, 36 hits, 32 walks, and 40 strikeouts. Saturday, though, in a loss to Rocky Mountain, he got the loss, 2 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. That's a season-high 7 hits allowed for Crescent as he looks to bounce back today in relief against Oakland. Crescent will face Darryl Buggs in the top of the 6th. Runner on second is Allgaier after his RBI double in this inning made it 10-5 High Wheelers. There's now 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Oakland chasing 5. Buggs is 0 for 3 today, 0 for 9 for the top 3 in this Oakland order. First pitch from Crescent is a breaking ball just off the plate, 1-0. He takes over for Matt Kavanaugh. The starter was good today, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, no walks to 5 strikeouts. That is a good tally. That's what you want to see from a starting pitcher. No walks, 5 Ks. That'll play. 1-0 to Buggs. Dart's just low, 2-0, and Crescent has missed on his first 2, both breaking pitches to Buggs, who has grounded out twice and flown out once. Allgaier the runner at second. Buggs trying to bring him home and make it a 4-run game again. Crescent's pitch is fouled off by Buggs. He got a middle pitch, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was late. It was in off the hands. 2-1. Buggs coming off a strong series in which he drove in 5 with 2 homers and a double against the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. Ballers won that series 4-2 thanks to a knockout round win on Sunday. 2-1. Buggs cuts and misses through 92 north of the zone. Crescent's got that high heat. He might as well use it. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to it here, but also he's changed the eye level, and now another breaking ball might get the chase from Buggsy. Can Buggs lay off a potential ball 3, or will Crescent get him here? 2-2. Buggs fights it off. That was in the zone, the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And Buggs was able to get a bat to it. Someone in the front row chanting scoreboard behind the Yuba Sutter dugout. It is 10-5 High Wheelers here in the top of the 6th. And Buggs hits a ground ball to third. Picked up by Banks on 2. Hops' throw to first is just in time. Never know with Buggs running. And it was a bang-bang play at first base. So the Ballers knock out the starter Kavanaugh. However, the Ballers only get 1 run in the inning on the RBI double by Allgaier. 2 hits in the frame and 1 left for Oakland. Ballers trailing 10-5, heading to the bottom of the 6th on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Sean Kelby has only pitched 2 innings so far as a Baller consecutively. He'll look to complete a 3rd inning of work and eat some innings here in Marysville. Bottom of the 6th, 10-5, Ballers trail the High Wheelers. It's time for scores from around the Pioneer League tonight. Top of the 9th from Colorado Springs, actually from Ogden. It's a technically home game for the Colorado Springs Sky Sox, but they are technically on the road. And let me make sure this is correct. It says that the Sky Sox trail the Ogden Raptors 15-10, but sometimes there's a little bit of trouble with the scoring system when a home team is not actually the home team in Presto. First pitch is high to Bobby Leday. We start at the bottom of the 6th. And it does look like, yes, it is 15-10 Ogden over Colorado Springs. Pitch fouled back by Leday. It's 1-1. A final from Rocky Mountain. The Vibes outlast the Jackalopes 10-2. Grand Junction had the bases loaded, but the Vibes close it out. Bases loaded in the 9th, but they strand them loaded. Late push from the Jackalopes, but the Vibes hold on. Pitch inside to Leday, 2-1. It's actually the Vibes who had to retake the lead with a 2-run 8th inning after Grand Junction tied it. And the go-ahead 2-1 swung on a miss by Leday. It was a Gary Laura go-ahead RBI double in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Vibes to help them win against Grand Junction. Game postponed in Billings between the Mustangs and the Great Falls Voyagers. 2-2 here on Leday, with nobody out to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Kelby's pitch is jacked on a line left field, hooking foul. Also, we have a final from Idaho Falls. The Glacier Range Riders, watch out, win 5-3. Grant Taylor with 5 shutout innings today. Rain Supple gets his 5th save. Range Riders not going down easy here in the second half. And the Chuckers lose a game at home to open their series at Melaleuca Field. Leday just bashed that one foul at 301 feet down the left field line. The 2-2 again is blasted to right field. Buford over near the line, makes the catch this time. And there's one away. One more score for you from Boise. In the top of the 9th, the Missoula Paddleheads lead the Boise Hawks 8-6. Tight game. Missoula with a go-ahead homer in the top of the 8th inning from Kashawn Frett. 2-run blast to put the Paddleheads ahead. First pitch is a strike to Cuba Bess. Cuba 0 for 2 today with a walk. The name Kashawn Frett's familiar. Pitch lashed out to left field. Druick over towards the line. Does he have a play? Yes, he makes the catch. It's a foul out from Bess, who is a rare 0 for 3 today. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. The Ballers trail the High Wheelers 10-5 as Kelby looks to give the Ballers a 3rd inning of work. He's already gone a career high 2 2/3 so far. But here he has to face Gio Brusa, who already is 2 for 3 today with 3 runs scored and a 2-run bomb all the way back in the 2nd inning. 6-run second, the difference in this game for the High Wheelers. First pitch strike. Why do I know the name Kashawn Frett? He played for FIU. But where did he play before that? Oh, Seminole State. There's this strike again, 0-2. Yeah, he played for Seminole State College of Florida, which is a junior college. He's from Ocala, Kashawn. 0-2 is popped out to right field. Going out is Harris. In is Buford. And Buford makes the squeeze. His 2nd put out of the inning. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th for Sean Kelby. The score here from Marysville. 10-5 High Wheelers over the Ballers on 860 AM. The Answer. It's the top of the 7th inning. Looks like we got a condiment race as the Ballers trail the Sutter High Wheelers 10-5 here in the top of the 7th. A little bit of a late start for this condiment race. They got to go now. I mean, they already threw down. Come on. Come on, Rachel. Help that kid get the mustard costume on. A little late, but okay. Ketchup and barbecue sauce have the lead, and Ketchup, I think, pulled ahead. Wow. Ketchup cut off barbecue sauce. Look at, like, barbecue sauce wearing Sweet Baby Ray's costume. And that is how the 7th inning gets off to a start. It is the top of the 7th. Oakland trails 10-5. Not out of this game, but they've never really been in it ever since the 2nd inning, in which they led 2-0, but then gave up a 6-run frame. Here's Nick Leahy from Cole Crescent, takes outside for ball 1. Was that? No. Looked like maybe a challenge from Crescent, but no, he was just readjusting the cap, I think. I get confused with those. 1-0. Pitch outside. Actually just low, 2-0. I almost wonder if sometimes pitchers do that, not officially challenging, but asking their catcher, should we challenge? And Campagna behind the dish was like, no, let's not. 2-0 count to Leahy here. Pitch from Crescent. Outside, 3-0. Ballers need base runners. They take a Leahy walk to start this 7th inning. Leahy is 0 for 3 today. The top 3 in this Ballers lineup, that's been the story today. 0 for 10. They have not reached in this game. And Leahy takes a strike at the bottom of the zone, 3-1. Now he'll look to hit and extend his hit streak to 4 games. Leahy up to the 2 spot in the order because through 38 games, he's hitting .296 with a .403 on base. And the 3-1 is a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Leahy swings late, and the count is full. After the lefty Kavanaugh, this is definitely a different look from Crescent, who goes basically fastball and then hard breaking ball. And it's been tough for the Ballers to hit. They've been late on 92 and 93 so far. Payoff. And Leahy late again. 93 top of the zone, and Crescent with a strikeout. It's his first. He took over with 2 outs in the 6th for Kavanaugh and got a ground out of Bugs. Next up, Christian Almanza with 1 out. Nobody on, top of the 7th. High Wheelers 10, Ballers 5. First game from Marysville this season. The Ballers will play 12 here. Almanza takes outside, 1-0. Christian Almanza today is 0 for 3. This is a rare 0 for now 11 performance from the top of this Ballers lineup. Almanza takes high, 2-0. Can he be the first Baller of the top 3 hitters to reach in this game? I mean, we're just looking at last game, the Ballers top 3 in the order. Leahy had a homer from the 3 spot. Almanza takes just low, 3-0. That's a great take. That did not miss by much. Davis Druick reached twice Sunday from the 2 spot, and Cobb reached twice today. Nobody has reached from the top 3 in this order until, nope. Almanza takes the 3-0 on the outside corner for a strike at 91. 3-1. Not a bad get-me-over fastball there from Crescent. But a hitter's count here for Almanza. He's hunting something to hit. 3-1 pitch. Almanza takes high, 92. And for the first time today, someone from the top 3 in this Ballers order has reached base as Almanza works the 5-pitch walk. 92 north of the zone. Almanza's on for Daniel Harris IV, who is 2 for 3 today with a long ball. A little bit of a breeze here in the press box. That feels quite nice. Didn't really have that in Davis, California, where the High Wheelers last lived. Second-year franchise, just like the Ballers, in their second city. Ooh. Pitch on the outside to Danny Harris for a strike, 0-1. See, Rachel with some concessions. That looks really good. What is that, Rachel? Apple cider slushy. That will have to be sampled later in this series or at some point this season on Nevada's Culinary Curiosities. They did warn me, as that is challenged by Crescent. Oh, that's confirmed a ball, but that was really close to the bottom of the zone. I was told here at Bryant Field the concessions are elite and that the hot dogs are really good. Corn dogs? Yes. Yes. I cannot wait. Whenever you want to bring those up, Rachel. She does everything. Rachel, the fantastic employee of the High Wheelers, does she even have a job title? I don't think so. She just kind of does everything here. Her second year with the organization. 2-1 on Harris. Top of the 7th. Time is called. Billy Horton now out to talk to Cole Crescent. This is interesting. This is not Jerome Williams. It's also, I don't think, is time for a pitching change. Harris today is 2 for 3, so Horton could just be giving the scouting report on Danny, who's now on a 4-game hit streak with a couple multi-hit games in that span. Had a 3-hit game on Friday. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a double. He started the scoring today in this series with a solo shot in the second. Oakland was up 2-0 and then gave up a 6 spot in the bottom of the second. Can't have those. Those will lose you ball games. And the Ballers trail in the top of the 7th with 1 out and a runner on first. It's 10-5 High Wheelers. 2-1 is the count. Billy Horton is back to his dugout, and the pitch from Crescent is lined over the glove of the shortstop, Cadu, and into left center field. Almanza trucking to third base. Harris goes to second on the throw to third, and Danny Harris is in there. 1-11 off the bat. The single from Harris advances on the throw. Almanza with some strong base running there to get to third base. That ball, I mean, just got over the glove of Cadu. He climbed the ladder and almost reeled it in. It would have been an unbelievable catch. Now with an open base at first, it'll be interesting to see how the Ballers approach Cam Buford, who is 2 for 3 today, especially with Dylan Tatum on deck. Will Crescent be the one to face Buford? It seems like it. Again, Crescent, his first hit allowed today, gave up 7 on Saturday in the loss to Rocky Mountain, trying to bounce back. Righty-righty battle. First to Buford is outside, 1-0. That last pitch was a breaking ball from Crescent, but the problem was he left it middle. That was a hanger, and that's how Danny was able to smash it into left center for a 111-mile-an-hour single. 1-0 to Buford. Swung on a miss. That's a very good breaking ball south of the zone. It's 1-1. Ballers a very good fastball hitting team. If you can execute with the breaking ball, that's how you beat Oakland. That's what Glacier was able to do at some points, even Colorado Springs. And Buford rips a breaking ball into left field. This might score 2. Harris being waved around. The throw is cut off. No throw home. And Cam Buford drives in a pair with a ripped single. 113 miles an hour off the bat. He sat on the breaking ball. He destroyed it, and he brings the Ballers within 3. Unfortunately for Crescent, he's now allowed 7 earned runs in his last 2 appearances. 5 and 2 1/3 on Saturday. And after the walk and the single by Harris, Cam Buford with the 2-run single and some heads-up base running helps Oakland to come within 3. It's 10-7 High Wheelers in the top of the 7th with 1 out. Dylan Tatum takes a first pitch strike high in the zone. The fastball at 92, actually right down center. 0-1. And see, this is the difference I was talking about. This is not the High Wheelers bullpen of old. There is no Zalaski right now to come in. He is still hurt. And there's no Langrell, there's no Buckner. Tatum with a little tapper foul, 0-2. So how does Billy Horton patch the bullpen together to get the win in this ball game? They lead by 3 in the top of the 7th. They have 8 outs to get. They still have some very good relievers in the pen they can turn to. And Bates, Ethan Bates for sure, he'll likely be turned upon in the 9th. But who gets maybe the rest of the 7th? Who gets the 8th? That's the question. Pitch to Tatum with 2 strikes is fouled off. Another breaking ball. Ballers within 3 on the 2-run single by Cam Buford, 113 miles an hour down the left field line. And Dylan Tatum at the dish is 2 for 3 today with a 2-run homer, but down in the count, 0-2. The righty Crescent comes home, and Tatum takes high, a good hold. That was just high with 91, the fastball. Yuba Sutter does not challenge it. They have missed 1 challenge already in this inning. They do still have 2 challenges left. Each team has 2. And this is a good spot to use a challenge if there's a close call that you think went wrong against you. Crescent steps off. That's his first disengagement. Runner on first is Buford in a close game. 10-7 High Wheelers. Top of the 7th inning. Ballers will likely go to the bullpen as Kelby has given them 3 solid innings in relief of Reed Bunce. As the Ballers look to come all the way back after trailing 10-4. Buford the runner at first, still 2 strikes, 1-2 pitch. Tatum swings and lifts it out to deep left field, just shy of the warning track Hext. He makes the catch for out number 2. That one was hit much further than I thought, as Tatum just got under the hanging curveball from Crescent. That was the curveball, and it was left. Middle. Could not be more smack dab in the middle of the zone, but Tatum just missed it. 319 feet to left field, just shy of a homer. You got to get it out a little bit further to left field here, and that'll do it for Crescent, who completes a full inning of work and will complete his day after that Dylan Tatum fly out. Yuba Sutter goes to the pen. We'll tell you who the new arm is when you return. The High Wheelers 10, the Ballers 7 in the top of the 7th. 2 outs here from Marysville on 860 AM The Answer. New arm for Yuba Sutter. High Wheelers with 7 outs to get. And the top of the 7th inning, 2 outs, 10-7 they lead the Ballers. And Mason Bryant is on in relief. His 22nd appearance, very tall righty, 6'6", 3.96 ERA, 25 innings pitched, 29 hits, 10 walks to 30 strikeouts. He's definitely been one of the best relievers for Yuba Sutter this year. I would expect him to pitch probably the 8th as well. Friday at Rocky Mountain, he went an inning, 2 hits, an earned run, and a strikeout. He has not pitched since then. This is a first-year pro in Bryant. Well, second-year pro, actually. Made 8 appearances for Missoula last year. He pitched for Angelo State, a very good D2 school, in 2023 and 2024. Kind of as a starter, kind of out of the pen. He's become a starter or a reliever, I should say, full-time reliever, one of the back-end guys in this High Wheeler bullpen. And he gets the top of the 7th, at least to finish it, as there are 2 outs in the inning, and Buford is at first after his 2-run single off of Cole Crescent. For Crescent, it's 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout as he makes way for the righty, 6'6", 225 out of Angelo State, the Austin, Texas native Mason Bryant, who did actually start his collegiate career at Texas. A local kid. We'll see Jake Allgaier bat from the left side for the first time, facing a righty. 2 for 3 today is Allgaier, but those hits both came from the left, or the right side. Jake Allgaier, lefty hitter, switch hitter, batting against the righty, Mason Bryant. Runner goes. That is a stolen base if I've ever seen one off the pitcher. I think that Bryant was going from the windup. First pitch was a strike, though, to Allgaier at least. It's 0-1. Did Bryant even know he had a runner on? Either way, it's Buford's 18th of the year, and the Ballers get a 2-out runner in scoring position. That's a mistake there for Bryant, who now works from the stretch. Looks back at second, comes home, and Allgaier swings and lifts it to center field. Wallace with his back to home plate, spins, and it one-hops the wall. Allgaier, another RBI double. Buford tags home, jogs home, and makes it 10-8 High Wheelers. The Ballers with a 3-run inning. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, the high heat from Bryant, but Allgaier was up to the task. 100 miles an hour off the bat, 378 feet to center field, as Lou Helmick will pinch hit for the Ballers. A chance to tie the game for Oakland after Jake Allgaier's Oakland best 3rd hit of the game, back-to-back RBI doubles in consecutive innings for Allgaier. Buford easily scoring from second on the play. And for Tyler Lozano, who was the DH, it is Lou Helmick, the big German. 6'5", 198, 22 years old, from Paderborn, Germany. Lozano had an RBI hit, but is much better against lefties, and this is a righty in Mason Bryant. It's a 10-8 game. Helmick the tying run. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Allgaier at second. The first pitch to Helmick is bounced slowly towards second. Nope, off his foot. The throw is made to first. No call made yet. Yuba Sutter running off the field. And now the home plate umpire, Bill Shortridge, comes out to say, yes, it was indeed a foul ball. No, he's seeking help from the other umpires. Lou never ran out of the box. That looked like it clearly hit his foot. 70 off the bat. Bill Shortridge, home plate umpire, talks to Jason Benson and Robert McGee to see if they saw differently. As it stands now, it's a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. But the ballers are still on the field. That is Helmick near the plate and Allgaier near second. Here's the call. Out is the call. Lou Helmick cannot believe it. And it's a 4-3 putout to end the frame. So Jake Allgaier gets the RBI double. It's a 3-run inning for the ballers on 3 hits, and they leave Allgaier at second. A controversial call, and Helmick is out. It appears Sean Kelby will return for the bottom of the 8th inning, or bottom of the 7th inning. It's time to stretch here from Yuba Sutter. It's 10-8 High Wheelers leading the Ballers on 860 AM The Answer. Believe it or not, Sean Kelby is still the pitcher for the Oakland Ballers as the Ballers trail the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers 10-8 now in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Ballers have made it a 2-run game after trailing by 6. They have scored the last 4 runs of this game and have momentum on their side. Kelby has already pitched.
Good job.
He's already pitched 3 innings. That's a kid yelling into the press box to talk to Shiloh, who is the DJ and public address announcer here in Yuba Sutter. James Harris is having a long word with Bill Shortridge, the home plate umpire, after Lou Helmick was called out on a foul ball, or you could say foul ball, you could say ground out to end the top of the 7th inning. Either way, bottom of the 7th, 6, 7, 8 coming up to bat against Kelby. Looks like Dylan Matsuoka warming in the pen for the Ballers. He is likely to come in, I'd say, against Wallace as the lefty Kelby gets the lefty hexed to start the bottom of the 7th inning. It's also time for Where Are They Now here on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube as I talk about a former baller and how they've been doing recently. Pitches way over the head of Hext, 1-0. I want to bring up Danny Kerwin, who never played with the Ballers but was on the books at one point. He is now, I'm going to give you his line from Sunday, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts for the Greenville Drive. 1-0 to Hex, the lefty. Is popped up foul, 1-1. That is, with 3 strikeouts in 3 innings, that is the 3rd consecutive outing for Kerwin going 3+ and not allowing a run. That's a scoreless inning streak of 9 2/3 for Kerwin. Props to Danny, the Lansdale, Pennsylvania native. 1-1, line drive into left center field, and this is going to do it for Kelby. Hex has himself an extra base hit as it's tracked down by Bugs. Hex cruises into second with a leadoff double here in the 7th. Next up is a righty in Landon Wallace, and with a righty, Dylan Matsuoka warming in the pen. This feels like the end of the road for Kelby. I could be wrong, but Dylan Tatum is out to talk to his pitcher. For Hex, that's his first hit of the game. It's a double. He only had 3 hits in the Rocky Mountain Series, so that's a big hit for him. That's his 12th double of the season. Blasted it to left center field, 104 off the bat. And there is Aaron Miles. Yep, to the pen, go the Ballers. Sean Kelby gives up a hit to start the bottom of the 7th and will make way for Dylan Matsuoka. Bottom of the 7th, Ballers trailing Yuba Sutter 10-8. New pitcher, will tell you about him when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. Landon Wallace leading up. Yeah, Landon Wallace leading off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The baller, or not leading off, he'll hit against the new pitcher Dylan Matsuoka in the bottom of the 7th inning. Hex with the double off of Sean Kelby, who is done after 3 complete innings for the Ballers. Matsuoka pitched 3 times in the series against Colorado Springs and allowed 3 total hits over 3 1/3 innings. Did not allow a run in either appearance Friday or Saturday. The 5'11 righty, 24-year-old from Sammamish, Washington, has a 6.2 ERA, a 4-1 record. This is his 13th appearance, 4th out of the pen. Made 9 starts for the Ballers earlier this year. 45 innings, 55 hits, 25 walks, 37 Ks. And Matsuoka will look to get out of this inning without any damage and keep Kelby's line as is, which is 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. But Kelby is responsible for Hext at second. Righty-righty battle. It is Matsuoka against Wallace, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Little bunt single last time up for Wallace. Runner is second, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, 10-8, High Wheelers lead. First pitch, hack and a miss. Good slider from Matsuoka. 0-1 on Wallace, who has now collected 7 at least 2-hit games in the last 9 contests. He's driven in 20 in his last 8 games, and there's a runner at second. He squares to bunt. He pulls back. That's outside 1-1. He got the slider again from Motts. Dylan, the former Ogden Raptor. Ogden, I believe, victorious today. Yep. They beat the Colorado Springs Sky Sox 15-10. A spin, no throw to second, though, as Hext gets back safely without a throw. Wallace, righty batter. Matsuoka, righty pitcher. This game has become close. It was not. It was 10-4 Yuba Sutter. It's now 10-8. Wallace looking to give a bit of breathing room. Squares and pulls back. Oh, what a snare by Tatum, but no throw to third. That popped off the backstop and then into his bare hand, but it's a wild pitch, and it allows Hex to go to third. So an insurance run is now just 90 feet away with nobody out, so Oakland will draw the infield in a 2-run game. It is 2-1 on Hex as Matsuoka has missed low and outside with all 3 pitches, but got a swing and a miss for the first one, so it's 2-1. He's thrown 3 straight sliders. And the next pitch to Wallace is inside with the fastball, 3-1. There are open bases at first and second, but you want to be wary of putting Wallace on just because you don't want the score to get out of hand. 3-1 pitch. Wallace off the very cap of the bat. It's rolling back fair. It is touched foul. If that rolled back fair, then yes, the Ballers would have had an out, but Hex would have scored. I mean, that had some weird, wacky English on it, and you could kind of tell the way it was hit. It might spin back into fair territory down that first base line, and it nearly did. Almanza scooped it, though, in foul ground. So it's 3-2 now with the infield in, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. Runner at third is Hexed. The payoff pitch from Matsuoka to Wallace. Outside, what a stop by Tatum. He picked that slider. Actually, that was a fastball spiked by Matsuoka. And there are runners at the corners for Yuba Sutter. The middle infield will play back to try to roll a double play. And here is Mike Campagna, the catcher, who has driven in runs in his last 2 plate appearances with an RBI single and a hit by pitch. He has also a walk today, so he's reached in all 3 plate appearances. First and third, men at the corners with nobody out for the High Wheelers, looking to create some insurance in the bottom of the 7th. A 10-8 lead for Yuba Sutter. Let's see if the runner at first, Wallace, goes. He has 7 stolen bases this season. Infield playing medium depth as Matsuoka tries to pick off the ball, leaks away from Almanza, but staying at third is Hex. It did not get that far away from Christian. That was dangerous for Matsuoka. He nearly threw it away. First and third for the High Wheelers. Campagna up to 11 RBI now this season. 2 today. Wallace has his lead at first. Matsuoka from the stretch, kicks, fires, pitches on the outside corner. Called a strike. That was not a strike. Bill Shortridge, another missed call. I've seen better umpired games by himself. That should have been ball 1 on Campagna. Matsuoka will absolutely take it. I will say it was a good breaking ball, but that's out of the zone. 0-1. Pitch from Matsuoka is fouled back, and all of a sudden Campagna is down 0-2. No fault of his own. Corners pinched. Almanza holding the runner at first. Wallace Hexed at third. The middle infield playing not very deep as well. They're not playing on the grass, though, as they try to maybe turn 2. 0-2 on Campagna. Matsuoka fires. He just missed inside. Matsuoka thought about challenging, but it was just in. It's another good no challenge by Dylan Tatum. Baller's dugout, you can hear him. It sounded like they thought that Matsuoka struck out Campagna looking on a great fastball, 93 on the inner edge. Instead, it's 1-2. Wallace creeps. He runs, and the pitch is bounced through the left side base hit. A run scores. Going first to third is Wallace on the RBI single by Mike Campagna. He's got a 3 RBI game, a season high for the catcher. That's a career high, a professional high for the first-year pro. Scores Hex from third. Wallace was going. He gets to third. That's a very well-executed hit and run and a great 2-strike approach as that slider, unfortunately, from Matsuoka caught too much of the zone. Now with first and third for Yuba Sutter, Matsuoka will face Kirkland Banks. Again, first and third. The runners replace themselves, and it's an 11-8 Yuba Sutter lead in the bottom of the 7th. Here is Kirkland Banks, the 9-hitter, who is 1 for 3 today with a single, a strikeout, also reached on an error. And the first pitch to him is bounced, 1-0. That was the fastball at 92. Matsuoka is really yanking the ball into the dirt. 11-8, Yuba Sutter leads. The High Wheelers have scored double figures. Oakland is not used to giving up double figures. It has not happened often this season. Hack and a miss on the outside pitch. The slider from Matsuoka, a great one. It's 1-1 on Kirkland Banks. Infield still playing shaded in. The runners are Wallace and Campagna at the corners. Nobody out bottom of the 7th. A 3-run High Wheeler lead. The 1-1 pitch. Banks takes outside, 2-1. Another good slider from Matsuoka. Another good hold by a High Wheeler hitter. Banks has driven in 30 this season. 26-year-old from Lake Charles, Louisiana. The second-year High Wheeler. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Matsuoka not getting the chase that he wants. And he's a pitch away from loading the bases with his second walk. He was not put into the easiest situation in a 2-run game with a runner at second and nobody out, but Matsuoka has left something to be desired with the command. The 3-1 pitch is jacked in the air, high and deep to right center field. Bugs over in the gap, tracks it down for out number 1. Leave it to, he's got range, Darryl Bugs. It's an RBI sac fly for Banks, and Yuba Sutter gets another back. Oakland keeps fighting back, but the Oakland bullpen has not been putting up zeros. Only one, that was by Kelby in the 6th. That was the one of only 2 innings that Yuba Sutter has been held scoreless today. That first run charged to Kelby. This run is charged to Matsuoka. Campagna has to hold it first on the sac fly by Banks. It's a 12-8 Yuba Sutter lead. There's a strike on the outside corner to the leadoff man, Cadu. 0-1. Banks, by the way, hit that ball 100 off the bat, 351 feet to right center field for the sac fly. 0-1. Cadu takes in. That's a great pitch from Matsuoka. Just clipped the inside corner. That's challenged. That's a confirmed to strike just on the edge. Cadu puts Yuba Sutter in the hole now. They're down to their final challenge. As that just clipped the corner, that was a beautiful changeup by Matsuoka. I'm not sure why he hasn't thrown that more tonight. 85-mile-an-hour pitch right on the edge. Had a lot of run to it, too. Dropped back, really, onto that inside corner, and it's 0-2 could do. And he takes strike 3. Oof, 93, bottom of the zone. Matsuoka just dominated him for the second out. First K for Matsuoka tonight. Also, the line is final for Sean Kelby. In the end, he ends up giving 4 runs up over 3 innings, and 3 of those were earned. Here's River Orsak with 2 outs, runner at first. High Wheelers up 12-8 in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch fouled off to the right, 0-1. Offense has been great today for Oakland. 8 runs on 12 hits, but Yuba Sutter has just been better offensively thanks to a 6-run second, and they have kept scoring. They have scored in every inning except the 1st and the 6th tonight. Orsak fouls one back, 0-2. It just feels like this is a night where the Oakland bullpen hasn't gotten it done. Reed Butts obviously didn't have his best start, and it's just been too much of a hole to climb out of for the Ballers, especially considering it was 10-8 entering this bottom of the 7th, and now the High Wheelers have added 2 more runs of insurance. 0-2 is fouled back. I will say Matsuoka looks pretty sharp out of the pen. Yes, he has given up 1 run in this inning, thanks to a walk and an RBI single and a sac fly. But his stuff is up. Fastball around 92, 93. Good slider. Gets another foul ball there. That was a high slider. And how about the changeup from Matsuoka? I'd like to see him throw that one more time. Threw it to the lefty, Cadu, and got a nasty strike 2. 12-8 High Wheelers, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Runner at first, that's Campagna, who has a pro best 3 RBI today, the catcher. Orsak today, 1 for 4 with a 2-run blast. Next for Matsuoka. Grounded towards third, past the dive of Leahy, and into left. Campagna stops at second. Good job by Druick to get it in quickly, but that was just a 93-mile-an-hour fastball in off the hands. I don't know how that Orsak got the hands in to drag it down that third base line. Great piece of hitting. His second hit, his 28th multi-hit game of the season, brings up Bobby Leday. Now Billy Horton will go to his bench and run for Orsak. Did not see who ran. My best guess would be either Cole Calnon. That is Cole Calnon, if that is indeed number 7. I don't think that's number 7 actually. Unless runner at second. Thank you very much. I was looking at the wrong guy. Calnon running at second. I was looking at River Orsak. So Cole Calnon is the pinch runner, the newest High Wheeler. First pitch to Bobby Leday. Bends in for a strike. Good slider from Matsuoka. Leday today is 1 for 4 with an RBI double. High Wheelers lead 12-8, bottom of the 7th, 2 out, 2 on for Leday. Next for Matsuoka is popped up right back to him. And Tatum gets out there and makes a diving catch in foul ground. That one spun all the way back into foul territory. I'm not quite sure how Tatum ended up making that catch, but he did in the end. Yuba Sutter gets 2 runs back. 2 runs of insurance to take a 12-8 lead heading to the 8th on 860 AM The Answer. Sorry, that's what happens when I meet new people. I have to talk. Top of the 8th inning here from Marysville, California. The Yuba Sutter High Wheelers lead the Oakland Ballers in Game 1 of a 6-game set. It's 12-8. Ballers will send 9-1-2 to the plate against a righty in Mason Bryant. The Ballers got 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Can they continue this comeback attempt here in Marysville? It would be honestly shocking at this point if they were to come back, considering they've given up 12 runs in this game. 12 runs, which is a pretty high total. They did not give up double figures in a game in the series against Colorado Springs. In Kalispell, they gave up 12 in the first game of that series. Or no, the third game of that series. So it's been a couple weeks since the Ballers gave up double figures. And again, it's 12 today. They trail 12-8 in the top of the 8th inning. Here's Davis Druick, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout today. The pitcher is Mason Bryant. He came on in the 7th. Hard-throwing, tall righty, gets a ground ball to short. This is collected by Cadu, his throw to first in time for out number 1. Ballers are going to need another big inning to get back into this game, one way or another. They'll need a crooked inning here or in the 9th to try to tie this game and send it to maybe a knockout round. But it feels like, despite a great offensive performance today, too big of a deficit to climb out of. Too many runs that the pitching has allowed. 12 runs on 13 hits today. Here is Darryl Buggs, center fielder, 0 for 4 today. Takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Buggs took 94 right down the middle there. Hard fastball from Bryant, who did give up an RBI double in the top of the 7th inning. 0-1 toss. Swung on a miss, strike 2. 94 at the top of the zone. That is just too much velo for Buggs to deal with there. And he's a pitch away from falling to 0 for 5 today. He calls time with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Ballers trailing the High Wheelers 12-8. Back-to-back 94-mile-an-hour heaters from Bryant. Really, he's throwing a lot of heaters. And when you have that speed, why wouldn't you? And he just threw 94 again at the top of the zone. It's called a ball, though. That one should have been strike 3. As it stands, though, it's 1-2 on Buggs. Yuba Sutter, unfortunately, down to their final challenge, not wanting to risk it here in the top of the 8th. 1-2. Buggs. Oof. Good luck with that. That's a slider. That's disgusting. And he pulls out the sword, a half swing from Buggsy. And Bryant gets a strikeout. So far, so good for Mason Bryant. After giving up an RBI double, he's retired the last 3 he's faced. And the next man he will face is Nick Leahy. Leahy 0 for 4 today. Last chance to extend the hit streak to 5. And the first pitch to Leahy is another good slider in for strike. And backwards is the righty Bryant. Leahy, who played at UC Davis, Newbury Park native. That's where UC Davis, where the High Wheelers played last year. 0-1. Leahy takes outside at 94, 1-1. Nick, don't think he's too upset not to play at his old college field this season. UC Davis is quite the black hole. It's where home runs go to die. It's a pitcher's best friend. Dobbins Stadium. 1-1 to Leahy, hack and a miss at 93 at the top of the zone. 1-2. 4 outs to get for Yuba Sutter for a season series opening win against the Ballers. 12-8 lead for Yuba Sutter in the top of the 8th inning. Leahy again 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Bryant trying to strike him out for the 3rd time today. He looks in for the sign. The tall righty from the windup fires and missed high with the heater. I don't even think it's a 4-seam fastball either for Bryant. I think that's 94 and a cutter, which is just filthy. 2-2 to Leahy. Pitch from Bryant. Leahy takes just outside, 3-2. Count is full on Nick Leahy. Ballers would love to get a 2-out base runner for Christian Almanza in the top of the 8th. They trail 12-8. From the windup, Bryant. His payoff pitch to Leahy is swung on and missed. 94, again, the cutter from Bryant. Back-to-back Ks to end his day, most likely. It'll probably be Bates in the 9th inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Bryant with 2 strikeouts in the frame. And the Ballers are down to their final 3 outs. We will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Yuba Sutter 12, Oakland 8 on 860 AM The Answer. So it's a little bit of a silver lining. Every silver lining has a touch of gray, of course, and the Ballers trail 12-8 in the bottom of the 8th inning. But the silver lining in that is that Tanner Shears gets another appearance for Oakland as he continues to try to work through his command issues. Shears, in his Oakland debut against Glacier, did not record an out, and Tanner Shears is the new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers. And Friday against Colorado Springs did record a scoreless inning and struck out 2 to end the game on Friday with a scoreless 9th. He allowed just 1 hit. Shears, the righty, 26 years old from Modesto, is making his 3rd Oakland appearance. 2 years at Modesto Junior College, then 2 years at UIC. Went to Chicago, then to the Schaumburg Boomers of the Frontier League in Indy Ball. Was really good there, caught the attention of the Brewers, signed there in 2023, and spent 3 years in the Brewers org. Of course, he's still coming back from his arm injury. Tommy John kept him out in 2024. So he was great in 2023 out of the pen. He hasn't been great this year. And his first pitch of the day is a swing and a foul back at 92 from Cuba Bess. 0-1. And so that's a good sign. First pitch from Shears, essentially right down the middle. And you'd rather have him throwing right down the middle than every which way else. Cuba Bess in this game is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. His name is Cuba because of Boys in the Hood. That's right. Pitch is a strike. Good pitch there from Shears. The splitter at the bottom of the zone, 0-2. But Cuba Bess was named after Cuba Gooding Jr., which he was the actor who played Trey Styles in Boys in the Hood. 0-2 from Shears to Bess. Is popped up right side of the infield. Good pitch from Shears. It's caught by Almanza after the changeup that was thrown essentially right over the plate. But when you see fastball splitter changeup, you're not really knowing what to expect on that third pitch. And Bess is a rare 0 for 4. I mean, this is a great sign for Oakland if Tanner Shears is going to pitch like this. Because if he can pitch like this, then he has the potential to be the 8th inning guy like Carson Lambert. That is the ceiling for Tanner Shears. Well, ceiling is being the closer, I guess. 94 fouled back from Shears, top of the zone. That's him dialing it up right there. This is Bruce. He's hitting from the left side today, or for the first time today. He's a switch hitter. Shears, 4 pitches, 4 strikes. I mean, yes, please. After 94, the next pitch from Shears is also 94. Watch out. He might be back. Tanner Shears, look, I mean, if you can have hit, I mean, the stuff he was doing for the Milwaukee organization in 2023, he had 10 saves over 41 appearances, a 1.45 ERA. That was over for 2 teams for Milwaukee. And he throws 95 on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Shears blows it in there, and Brusa goes down looking. Ladies and gentlemen, the listener, everyone listening here on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube, Tanner Shears might just be back. 95 on the inner edge. That was a devastating fastball. And next he faces Hext, who has only retired once today. He has scored 3 times. Walk, walk, double. Ballers unfortunately down in the bottom of the 8th, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and it's a 12-8 High Wheelers lead. I think we might start to see Tanner Shears pitch in a little bit more high leverage situation, at least next time out. First pitch here. That's low. 93-mile-an-hour fastball buried. 1-0. That is the first ball thrown by Tanner Shears. And it's the 3rd batter he's faced. This is, if you are a Ballers fan listening right now, this is reason to be very excited. Next pitch. That's a little bit closer to the zone, still low at 92. That's fine. You'll take that from Shears. 93, 92, low, just below the zone. Not getting the chase, though, by Hext. He has walked twice today. He has a good eye. Next pitch. That is beautiful. Low inside corner, 92 from Tanner. 2-1. I mean, he's just lighting it up. Let's see if he goes to an off-speed pitch here, maybe. He's thrown 3 straight fastballs to Hex, and it feels like Hex might be sitting on that here. 2-0 pitch from Shears. Is bounced foul. That was the fastball, but 93. And he was sitting on it. He was early. He bounced it down the first base line, the lefty Hex. But 2 good locations. Low inside corner from Shears, and now that opens up the arsenal. Might he go with the splitter here on 2-2? That would be a perfect place to throw it after throwing that low fastball. I'm not Dylan Tatum, but if I were, that is the pitch I would call here from Shears. 2-2 toss. Oh, that's disgusting. The splitter at 83. Tanner Shears is back, folks. Back-to-back Ks here in the bottom of the 8th. And he pitches a 1-2-3 inning. However, Yuba Sutter leads 12-4. Ballers down to their final 3 outs on 860 AM The Answer. Tanner Shears with a 1-2-3-8 to match Mason Bryant's 1-2-3-8. And here we are in the top of the ninth, the 12-8 lead for the High Wheelers. And now on is the closer for the High Wheelers. And it looks like
Number 10, right
a change defensively as well for the High Wheelers, as Josh Duarte is a defensive replacement in right. As they look to get the final 3 outs in this game. So the new pitcher is, for Yuba Sutter, Ethan Bates. And Bates is a second-year High Wheeler. He has faced Oakland before. And this season, the righty has a 5.01 ERA, 3-3 record, 28 appearances. That's a team high with a team high 4 saves. This is not a safe situation. A 12-8 lead in the top of the ninth for the High Wheelers over the Ballers. 32 1/3 innings, 36 hits, 10 walks to 28 strikeouts for the righty. Bates, 23 years old, from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Friday against Rocky Mountain, through a hitless inning, he had given up runs in 4 straight appearances previously. And so, which Bates will show up today against Oakland? Here is Christian Almanza to start the inning. First pitch, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's just high and away for ball 1. And we begin the top of the ninth. Can the Ballers complete an improbable comeback here in Marysville? 1-0. Almanza taps it foul, 1-1. Mason Bryant went 1 1/3, gave up 1 hit. No runs to his credit, no walks, and he struck out 2. Man, if he was able to go another inning, I would have thrown Bryant even more. He was fantastic. 1-1. Almanza checks his swing at 84, just off the plate. 2-1, an appeal to third, but Robert McKee says that Almanza did not go. It's 2-1. Ballers need 4 base runners, one way or another, in this inning. Can they come back in the ninth, down 4? One at a time. Bates, the righty. Pitch to the lefty, Almanza. Is swung on and laced and caught by Leday. A leaping grab and robs Almanza of his first hit of the game. 105 off the bat. And that's just the way the cookies crumbled for Oakland today. The offense doing everything in its power, but Yuba Sutter doing just enough to keep the Ballers from winning this game. 1 out, top of the ninth inning. And here is Danny Harris, who has a 3-hit game, tying his season high. Could he get 4, maybe? I wouldn't put it past him. A homer in this game as well for Danny. And the first pitch is fouled off. Good Frisbee-like slider from Bates there on the outside corner, 0-1. 1 out, bases empty, top of the ninth inning. The Ballers trail 12-8. Righty-righty battle here. Harris with singles in his last 2 ABs. And there is a pitch just low. Good changeup, though, from Bates. 1-1. You can tell why he's a closer. He's got a good pitch mix. Fastball, slider, changeup. Perhaps more. Harris takes in at 92. That's way inside. 2-1. Second straight 2-1 count. The last time Almanza hit it on the nose. 105 off the bat, but Leday made a leaping catch at second for out number 1. 2-1. Harris takes the Frisbee-like slider way outside, 3-1. Ballers need base runners, but you know Danny's swinging here if he gets a pitch to crush, because walks are not guaranteed. He'll be patient, though. Bates has only 10 walks this season. And 91 is right down the middle. I guess in that situation, if you're Danny, you are probably taking in a 4-run game. Home run really doesn't do much in this situation. Payoff pitch is next. Bates, the righty, establishes himself on the right side of the rubber, his left. First base side of the rubber, maybe. Payoff pitch outside, and Harris chased the slider. It was always outside. And Bates gets the wipeout K. 2 down. Yuba Sutter, 1 out away from opening the season series against the Ballers with a victory. 12-8 lead for the High Wheelers. They have out-hit the Ballers 13-12 today. Although, I might have that changed. First pitch to Cam Buford, falls in, don't know where that missed. That was just inside, 1-0. Good take from Cam. Matt Cavanaugh, the starter in this game for Yuba Sutter, did just enough to probably earn his 4th win of the year. As Buford takes low and in 2-0. Yuba Sutter does still have a challenge left. Meanwhile, Reed Butts has now, it appears, lost back-to-back appearances. 2 outs, 2-0 pitch to Cam. Swings and misses at a good slider. There's a strike. He challenges Buford. That was 90. And instead of 2-2, this will be 3-1. Three and one now to Buford. Ballers need a base runner. Down by 4 in the top of the 9th. 2 outs. Buford takes outside. There is a base runner. A 2-out walk for Cam, who has reached in 4 out of 5 plate appearances today. So here is, for the Ballers, Jake Allgaier. Nope. This is Dylan Tatum. I jumped the gun. Tatum today is 2 for 4. Runner at first is Buford. First to Tatum is in, but a strike at 90. Just clipped the corner. Ballers still have 2 challenges left, but that's not the one to challenge. It's a great pitch from Bates on the inside edge. Tatum with a homer in this game. A 2-run blast in the 4th, and he hits one slowly to third foul. And the Ballers are 1 strike away from defeat here in Yuba Sutter. Their 3-game win streak is on the line here. Tuesday against Colorado Springs, they won the game. Tuesdays generally have been kind to Oakland, but today, oh, wow. Tatum fouls off the hard slider from Bates. Just caught Campagna, the catcher. Cavanaugh got the start. Crescent and Bryant out of the pen, and then Bates, the closer. Looking for a scoreless 9th. His pitch to Tatum is inside. That's ball 1. Ballers at least making Bates work in the 9th. They're making him earn it. They still need to get Helmick to the plate to have a chance at tying this game. 1-2 with 2 outs, and Tatum takes ball 2. That is a stolen base for Buford. That's his 3rd of the game. Wow. Oh. 2-2 now to Tatum. Buford at second with 2 down. Pitch is bounce foul. Tatum staying alive. Dangerous game. Yuba Sutter playing right now in this press box, testing the magic 8 ball. We usually reserve that for the 8th inning in an 8-run ball game. But that's okay. You're free to use it whenever you'd like. That's why I have it. It's for anyone in the press box to ask a question to. 2-2 pitch again to Tatum, trying to find a way on. And he lifts it foul off to the right. Great at bat from Dylan. Win or lose this battle, he is putting up a fight for Oakland, trying to give him a chance to come back in this game. If he were to reach, Jake Allgaier would hit, and Allgaier is hot. He's on fire. Hits in his last 3 at-bats. Tatum not too bad himself today, with 2 hits, including that 2-run homer. He has scored twice. Buford the runner at second. 2 outs, top of the 9th. 12-8, the lead for the High Wheelers. The 2-2 again to Tatum is outside. That's a great hold. 83-mile-an-hour slider way off the dish. And Tatum, if he gets a close pitch here and takes it, he'll challenge. If it goes against him, he'll take the walk right here. Ballers need base runners. But Bates isn't just going to give it to him. Tatum's not giving it to him either. Bates steps off. That's his first disengagement. Three into the count. This game is going on 3 hours and 5 minutes now. 3-2 pitch Tatum takes ball 4 in, challenged, and that is the final challenge for Yuba Sutter. It's confirmed a ball. Owen to my left is the TrackMan operator, so I get the chance to hear that before the crowd. So back-to-back walks for the Ballers. They are now 1 base runner away with 2 outs in the top of the 9th from bringing the tying run to the plate. Can Jake Allgaier maybe hit safely for a 4th straight appearance? Plate appearance, that is. No action in the High Wheelers' pen. Bates is the closer. But Jerome Williams will come out to help his reliever to settle down. 2 outs in this inning, and then 2 walks for Oakland, Buford and Tatum. Tatum working that long at-bat walk. The payoff pitch was inside. The changeup from Bates. I love the pitch decision there from Bates, but he could not execute, and he could not get the chase from Tatum. So now with 2 on and 2 outs, it's Jake Allgaier, who has RBI doubles in consecutive at-bats. If he could do that again, he would bring up Lou Helmick. No. Tyler Lozano is back in the game. Lou Helmick is 1 and done today, so Tyler Lozano would be the tying run in the top of the 9th. But first things first, got to get Allgaier on. Easier said than done, although for Allgaier, it's been easier done than said. He's 3 for 4 in the game. A Baller's career high with 2 RBI again after he had 2 runs driven in on Sunday. And the switch hitter bats from the left side against the righty Bates in a 12-8 game in the top of the 9th. 2 outs, first pitch, low and away, ball 1. A walk would load the bases for Tyler Lozano, and then Tilo would have a chance to do the impossible and tie this game. Allgaier takes off the plate, 2-0. And by the way, the High Wheelers are out of challenges. Allgaier has to think he's going to see something to hit here. That was the fastball off the dish. Infield standard depth. Outfield playing decently deep. Wallace may be medium depth in center as Allgaier takes 91 on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Allgaier has always had a great eye, and so he knows not to challenge that. It was very much in the zone. 2-1 count. This is a big pitch here from Bates. It is. Swung on and lifted to left field. Hex is there, and that will do it. Allgaier cannot come up a 4th time with a hit today. He flies out to end it. After 3 hours and 8 minutes, we have a final here from Marysville. The LED light show here at Bryant Field after the High Wheelers win. They hold on to claim a 12-8 victory and open the season series in the Bay versus Buttes series with the W. Post-game show when you return here on 860 AM The Answer. Sadly, the Ballers fall tonight in the opener of this series 12-8 to the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers, the first of 18 games between Oakland and Yuba Sutter this season. I'm Nevada Cohen with Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday night. The Ballers led 2-0 early in this one. Daniel Harris had the solo homer to right center field in the inning. Tilo had an RBI infield single, but then in the bottom of the second inning, the High Wheelers got 6 runs, including a 2-run double by Parker Cadu, and then River Orsak and Gio Brusa both hit 2-run bombs, and that was the difference really in this game, because then Oakland was always fighting from behind. The High Wheelers would score another in the third on the RBI single by Campagna. He would have 3 RBI in this game. Oakland got 2 back in the top of the 4th inning on a 2-run shot by Dylan Tatum, his 15th homer of the year. But the High Wheelers in the bottom of the 4th got another run, RBI double by Bobby Leday. They got 2 more runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then Oakland started to come back. Top of the 6th inning, they get a run. RBI double by Jake Allgaier. Top of the 7th, they get 3 runs. 2-run single by Cam Buford. 2-run single by Buford. And then an RBI double by Jake Allgaier. Allgaier finished with a Oakland career-high 3 hits and another 2 RBI game. As for the Ballers, the rest of the way, they would not score after the top of the 7th. Yuba Sutter got 2 in the bottom of the 7th to establish a 12-8 lead, which they would go on to win by. The most impressive part at the end of the game, the bottom of the 8th inning, Tanner Shears, through 1 inning, did not allow a hit, struck out 2 in the side, and could Tanner Shears be in line for some more strenuous work from here on out? Could he be a guy that the Ballers would trust in that back end of the bullpen? There was a spot vacated when Carson Lambert was traded to the Atlantic League for the Lexington Legends. So Tanner Shears, great job today. As for the Ballers, they got 8 runs on 12 hits today, 2 errors. Yuba Sutter, 12 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. So both teams got 12 hits, but Yuba Sutter got 4 more runs. Kavanaugh gets the win. He's 4-1. Reed Butts falls to 7-3. 7:07 start time, 10:15. It wrapped up p.m. pack time, 3:08 total time. 566 fans in attendance on this Tuesday night here in Marysville on a 94-degree day at first pitch, mostly sunny skies. Ballers fall to 45-16, 8-5 in the second half. High Wheelers improved to 8-5 in the second half and are now 37-24 overall this season. Just to check scores around the Pioneer League, see if there's anything interesting to report. And no. Glacier held on to win against Idaho Falls 5-3. Missoula held on against Boise 8-6. We already went over the other finals. So that does it for today's broadcast here from Marysville, California. Our final score: Yuba Sutter 12, Oakland 8, a final in 9 innings. Big thanks to those who helped make the broadcast possible, including Ballers co-founders Paul Friedman and Brian Carmel, Ballers assistant rental manager Tyler Peterson, Brendan Colthurst, and Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Also, big thanks to you, the listener. We'll have more baseball coming up. Our coverage of Wednesday's Game 2 of the 6-game series will start at 7 p.m. pack time on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. We hope that you can join us. Again, our final score here from Marysville, the first ever game between the High Wheelers and the Ballers here in this city, goes to the High Wheelers by a score of 12-8. I'm Nevada Cohen saying so long and thanks for listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer.